In the shadows of a dimly lit room, two figures negotiate a delicate alliance. Coins spent on a hermit cloak and mental stimulant are a reminder of the steep price of survival. As the pair contemplates trust and strategy, the tension is palpable. But can this uneasy partnership truly hold under pressure? In a dim subway hallway, anxiety permeates the air. Paranoia and social anxiety are tangible as Donghoon struggles to find his voice amidst the electronic hum. The internet connects, a lifeline in darkness, but trust is more elusive. Can they ever escape the manipulative webs controlling their fates? Jungheok Han, lost in urgent thoughts, handles his phone like a talisman. Confident allies and unsettling memories dance in his mind. But beneath the camaraderie lies a buried tension. What lurks in the shadows of yesterday? The silent ding begs an answer, an enigma waiting to unfold. Amidst a room cloaked in tension, sarcasm and skepticism clash. Frustrations linger over the prophet's insidious influence. Accusations hang in the air as the need to dispel deceit drives the conversation. But will trust falter? As the burden grows, one misguided move could unravel everything. Frustration boils under a failing network's weight. Mysteries lurk in shadows, as one swift smack reveals a hidden anomaly. Surprise disrupts their grip on reality when an unexpected figure breaks the tension-filled room. The air crackles with intrigue as the stakes are laid bare. In the claustrophobic confines of a subway, Jungheok Yu confronts a maelstrom of chaos. His swift mastery defies the odds, pushing back against disbelief and fear. As the turmoil spirals, leadership stands as the only bastion, but can it withstand the encroaching threat? Caught in a power tug, Donghoon grapples with the intense expectations cloaked in the prophet's whispered predictions. The pressure is relentless. Allies, enemies, indecipherable paths weave through misconstrued allegiances, with every misstep threatening to tip the scales toward chaos. As the Daimyo group awaits orders, strategic deliberations mirror the city's nocturnal stillness. Intrigue hangs heavy as alliances forged in dark corners tremble. Could newfound victories be more tenuous than first believed? The calculated calm before the storm begins to fracture. Time slips through our protagonist's fingers as 4 p.m. heralds unease. Urgency weighs them down, a reckoning driven by remorseless clocks and whispered bargains. As alliances reveal their shadows, trusted paths hint at betrayal. How much of this uncertainty holds real danger? Jungheok's command echoes through the subway, a unifying call to action. Here, camaraderie forms in the crucible of conflict, fostering alliances against encroaching darkness. Yet everything teeters on the edge. Will directives morph into dissent, igniting chaos from within? A prophecy stirs the atmosphere as new information bleeds into reality. Toasts of surprise glaze curiosity with a veneer of anxiety. Masks obscure truth, yet something shimmering beneath their surface threatens stability. Each keystroke pushes the boundaries. Will they transcend these borrowed personas? In a digital conspiracy, phones fall silent, cut from the world's lifeline. Trust hangs precariously as uncertainty poisons resolve. Words are scarce as Jung commands without falter, but who truly holds the power? Each whispered, yes, rides the trembling waves of imminent confrontation. In a sea of digital uncertainty, Dokja floats between confusion and trust. The gift of coins becomes a silent pact, a gesture steeped in deeper intentions. Groups form, strategizing their known pieces from whispered words and mysterious messages. Will understanding ignite clarity or chaos? As Jungheok stands against an electric dusk, tension simmers in the digital whispers. Rumors align and contradict, shaping figures who stand in the shadows. There's excitement, buzzing like static. Every knowing glance drives anticipation. Will revelations bind chaos or release it? The unexpected stop marks off the journey's progression. with everyone on the subway caught between anticipation and surprise. Donghoon's shock and newfound curiosity echo through weary faces. As the Anguk station fades from sight, a map marks the unwritten future. In the uneasy echoes of Anguk Station, the past overlooks the present. The group, a gathering of intent, measures possibilities against dangers. Words ripple through uneasy whispers, tyrant kings and respected pacts. Unity's mantle is fragile, how quickly it may shatter. Jungheok Yu stands, mesmerizing those around him with an aura that commands admiration. Bewildered whispers create a tapestry of awe and recognition. He's much more than mere memory. In this cool, cavernous gallery, hero worship intertwines with an unspoken yearning for revelation. Importance frames introductions when lines of regression bind the dark-haired figure's curiosity. Knowledge is a currency, heavy in this world of shadow. Camaraderie breathes stilling moments, quiet respect channeled through shared conquests. Where will new wisdom guide them? Amidst chaos, identities unwavered by destiny stumble. The weight of legendary names and nameless terrors crumbles into parody, humor threading through confusion. But in this bustling marketplace mirage, whispers of a secret weapon stir the unpredictable currents of fate. A silent subway realm shelters the meteorite's secret, a dangerous, otherworldly promise cloaked in rock. Fervor brews as stories of potential armaments illuminate the dialogue. Curiosity ignites wonder, enticing them into a dance with destiny's fiery embrace. As panic spirals over the red meteorite, identities shudder. Fear mutates into frantic resolve beneath the looming potential of catastrophe. This trap, this burden, it begins to roil, threatening what none can fully understand. Must fate still be set? A crash punctuates frantic actions beneath the growing shadow. Blurry barriers trap characters under watchful, uncaring eyes. As consciousness flickers, uncertainty plants deadly doubts. Will they emerge unscathed or fall, shackled by fate's sinister scenarios? Cracks sever uneasy hopes as the meteorite erupts with foreboding energy. Characters lean under everyone's gravity, treasures give way to terror. Silence shatters, marking the escalation. Every breath contracts as future turmoil beckons, a relentless march toward impending doom. Molten chaos breaks, emotions split under volcanic pressure. Desperation skates the brink as uncertainty and artifacts shimmer dangerously close. From anxiety's mouth, raw fear follows with synchronized crack reverberations. Where peace once whispered, doubt now roars in resurgence. Fiery monstrosity claims the cavern's throne, Dokja stares into draconic chaos. As chaos envelops them, humbling the bravest, the roar resonates. Leadership and despair shift under catastrophe's shadow. But who can draw boundaries beyond survival's wishful hope? Underneath sparks and splintering stress, mid-level Dakibai chides them through tightened chaos. Support from on high tempers the wildness, yet fairness slips away. The dragon's fire, its challenging presence, leaves them grappling for stability amid infernal unpredictability. A solitary snap precedes calamity, propelling all into a scrambled motion. Scenarios entangle them in shades of burden and imperative action. A dragon bellows as the wheel spins its fire. Panic's grip tightens as running becomes a desperate resolve. Escapes weave against danger's dance, flux of strategy. Searching among shattered plates, numbers imply awkward destiny demands. As ground ignites with creeping havoc, blue ice becomes a lifeline. Will careful measurements constrain what raw energy unleashes? They strive to compose calm amid tumultuous discord. The absolute shield whispers promises amid anxious stares. As necessity carves only precedent, numbers determine passage and exclusion's jagged edge. Selflessness may prove their strength, or perhaps their undoing. Decisions echo across the riven battlefield. Time whirls, demanding action before fiery reckoning. The desperate weigh survival against moral sacrifice. For whom will the five remain? The dragon growls, its stony judgment etched upon battle's contested ground. Jungheok guides them through peril, a beacon against chaos's dominion. As the absolute shield invokes its strength, determination swells within his allies. Within the inferno's throat, resolve swells tested by fire, unshaken as the shadow charges forth. Breathing in close mirth, past humor and heated resolve echo onto the present. Memories dance on the brink of edgy fortune. Who claims the title disciple under disguise? Understanding flickers. The game's name changes, but its stakes remain. Maps tremble, reconfiguring under proximity's demand. Voices crackle urgent warnings, whispers of impending storms. Butterflies blur in chaos, a trope and tremor manifest. The future weighs on plates hidden in shadows, tenacity gripping each pulse wave forward. As allies move through wreckage, Dokja voices protective concern. Seongguk stands informed by strategy. Beneath the deliberate ruin, distant figures drum up ulterior motives. A smirk's shadow conceals darker intents. Will chaos swallow them whole, or will clarity emerge? Flames shape dreams into nightmares, inciting unexpected bared fangs. As agreements waver, simmer beneath raw turmoil, doubt confronts dragons boasting fire. Preparations extend, reaching for ephemeral advantage amidst glaring imbalance. Can ambitions remain untested? Cracked earth tells tales of survival, frontline persists against unstoppable fury. Offers demand reconsideration, loneliness corrosive amid peril. Prophecies float like ghosts, foreshadowing deepening division and unresolved conflicts. Shadows echo dragons, whispering their demands in hushed threats. Questions interlace as challenges dissect prophecy's fabric, a strike against surprise. As planes shift schemes, leadership transcends mere mechanics. They tread the precipice of order's undone semblance. Brilliance embraces cunning as impending dynamism tempts rivals' fates. Warnings echo against the fiery battle. Huiwen yells for stillness. Dokja's response reverberates with ironclad resolve. Shadows whisper history, weigh risks untried. Whispers of vulnerability expose courage's raw roots beneath adversity. Will solidarity combat the encroaching storm? Escapes elude fiery binds as plans hinge upon timing, the mystical, inevitable flagpole. Flames threaten dissolution, misdirection splits attention. Alliances dig their claws, grip tenuous hope. Can clarity extricate futures from the confines of chaos's ragged ties? Victory cleaves through infernal haze as station triumphs unify under the paths of kings. Balances shift, employing transient situations framed in flickering light. Yet triumph courses toward uncertainty's embrace. The digital glimmer marks new beginnings against trailing ruin. Flames fan tension to a fever pitch as fire becomes harbinger. Tales of caution ring out, not enough to alter fate's race. Monstrous force primes its fury against them. As Dokja stands amidst heartrending turmoil, thoughts clamber for escape's precious hold. Amidst chaotic flames, destiny collides with Dokja. Shattered armor and foreboding declarations remind of mortality's tight grasp. Cloth overlaps with an ultimatum. Uncertainty parts to reveal judgment's stark reveal. Somewhere beneath the tumult's weight hides a resolve yet to unfurl. Fear chases life away in hurried breaths, a contrast to calm, accepted fates. The hellscape burns acrid into disbelieving eyes, every whisper a testament to despair's grim humor. Reality sharpens its cruel edge, in its fire, both resolve and fear exchange roles. In reflection's depth, walls obscure his omniscient perspective. An attribute bestowed, yet burdened, negates expected release. Motives entwine with new understanding. But what path must Dokja tread to surpass limitations placed upon him by intrinsic walls? Blame and uncertainty color a dim domain's troubled talk. Echoes of defiance float amidst Pildu's dissatisfaction. Dokja's name floats ominously, bearing weighty expectations. Outside reality's pawns bicker. How long before words laid bare ignite dormant ambitions? Questions weave through the dim expanse. Value devolves into debate. Pildu's declaration bridges gaps, yet doubt hangs heavy in the air. What defines territory wrestled from peers' grasp? Snap and whoosh imply stark conclusions caught between guarded uncertainty. Urgency commands swift movement. Shadows drape in predatory intent. As chaos flourishes, decisions flit from unwary grasp. Attacks batter confidence. Strategy frays against infernal urgency. Will practice drills hold when every second ticks toward inevitable subversion? Triumph rings through exhaustion, a hard-won breath among chaos's flirtatious dance. Shadows approach, hinting at a greater ruin yet to emerge. Relief leans into vigilance, already tensing anticipation of the next unpredictable onslaught. In darkness, gestures delineate unknown lines. Every posture belies former simplicity. Alliances form uneasy truces under unsparing interpretations of their foes. Mystery punctuates the path forward as the prospect of danger intertwines narratives barely understood. Fiery exchanges weave fury through cavern shadows. Striking words punctuate escalated conflict. Ambitions wield fatal threads against heart's fortress desires. Strategies intertwine. Do agendas inspire hope or remind? An unseen chessboard, illuminated by the spectral glow of ambition. Amidst a war-torn street, a dark-haired fighter in a black suit weaves through attacks. His movements create explosions that reverberate through the chaos. A young, short-haired boy stands aghast, witnessing a battle beyond comprehension. Nearby, a cloaked figure sifts through the rubble, stirring an already volatile setting. The presence of a striking blue-haired youth grows alarming as he uncovers a significant anomaly. As mana bullets tear through the atmosphere, they unleash cascades of destruction. A character, despite being battered and bloodied, screams into the chaos, manifesting both power and desperation. Shock ripples through the surrounding characters, a testament to the battle's raw energy. Outrage boils over, igniting a charge full of anger, seeking retribution, as the ground shakes beneath their rage. In the dimly lit, watery abyss of the underground, shadowed figures converge amidst echoes of ominous steps. One cloaked figure steps forward, shouldering an air of authority as the king of disciples. Apprehension grips two men, one bald, one in a suit, as a restrained victim defies the brutality, bound but not broken. In this undercurrent of tension, defiance flickers, a beacon in darkness. Within shadowed caverns, Seventh impatiently presses onward, his urgency marked by a black-hooded figure's cruel deliberations over a captive woman. Her cries echo through the void, each plea amplifying the cavern's oppressive atmosphere. Her vulnerability is stark as darkness tightens its grip, but despair crystallizes a fragile hope. Will anyone come, or is this where it ends? A bewildered character, freshly teleported, stands amid chaos, grappling with the unsettling connection to another anguished soul. His confusion mirrors a girl's plight as she gasps through unseen trials. But his understanding of her falters, colliding with the sting of a reality not fully grasped. Tension simmers, flesh clashes against realization, clarity elusive as strength wanes. In a shadowy corridor, the perspective shifts. A gentle, guiding presence contrasts with an overwhelming menace lurking in the background. A girl grapples with startling sensations, her reality newly tangible. Her confusion and fear are palpable, yet an unseen strength promises sanctuary amidst chaos. How quickly will the dream descend back into nightmare? The scene bursts with movement as a bald man faces a mysterious, shrouded figure. Blood splatters, disrupting alarm. Shock echoes in whispered exclamations, disbelief at life's fragility in a peril-laden dance. As chaos blooms around them, spectators shiver at the sinister unseen threat that muddies friend and foe. Therein lies the unspoken question of intent. In a snowy cavern, tensions spike. Seventh interrogates an unfazed, cloaked entity while the notorious Jungheok Yu brandishes defiance, weapon in hand, proclaiming doom over those present. Anger crackles through the chill air, portending sorrow and ruin as his words land like thunderbolts. Would his declaration herald mercy, or a signal for havoc's embrace? Electric power crackles as a blonde, newly resurrected, gazes upon his revived form with a mix of pain and bewilderment. And with this profound return, a dark-haired onlooker's determination eddies into resolve. In such energy-drenched locales, would rebirth cost more than it appears? His startled eyes harbor secrets, and deep plans unfolded. Revived without issue, Dokja peers around a dim subway where danger and possibility intertwine. A monstrous presence looms as relief floods his consciousness with the fourth wall's protection. Yet discontent stirs, how best to wield the newfound Omniscient Reader's viewpoint at level 3. While survival hangs in the balance, opportunities beckon knowingly from the shadows. Recollections collide through shifts in perspectives. Jungheok's leadership reverberates even as footsteps whisper danger. When characters gather and exclamations fly, revelations intertwine with alliances anew. Within darkened corners, truths seek daylight. What ties might the revelations strengthen or unravel beneath Chungmuro's shadowed underbelly? As flames erupt around them, Dokja and Hyunseong coordinate amidst chaos. Plates missing, Dokja's frustration mounts about his stagnant growth. Other figures urge action and survival, cradling a delicate balance of relief and vulnerability. As Hyunseong takes charge, strategy dances on the edge of survival, the conflict's rhythm its only ally. Having survived yet another resurrection, a shirtless Dokja reassures his allies. The loss of equipment, significant in meaning, presses heavily, hinting at the unbreakable faith and flag. As tension mounts, their shared determination becomes apparent, a partnership woven with newfound resolve. But beneath it lingers a truth edged in sharp possibilities. Perilous movements weave through scenes of fiery calamity as figures bolt through ominous corridors. Futile regrets surface amidst flames, yet assurances soothe immediate fears as explosive sounds warn of impending peril. Urgency captivates a beige-clad leader calling for decisive action. Each step reveals threats, each glance an unspoken truth about what lies. Calamity looms as news of disciples' demise unfolds amidst an inferno's glow. Within the chaos, newfound strength offered by a brown flag emerges as an entity positions its bearings. Hope battles fear, decisions driven by impending threats. A harrowing realization dawns as desperation fuels their lightning-quick tactics through a volatile world. Here, orange flares light conflict. Tension swirls as enmity erupts around Hyunseong. As he assesses their bleak outlook, companions clad in white hope against odds without the absolute shield. 5 comrades, 5 blue pills. An impromptu strategy. Seizing moments between turmoil, the tense camaraderie nudges towards unity against the world's chaos. Static crackles amidst contemplation. A figure in gray assesses his emergent abilities. Burgeoning potential rises, blue energy pooling in hand, as he strategizes leveraging Omniscient Reader's viewpoint. A monstrous visage looms, next confrontation manifest much closer. Within contemplation lies truth. Growth intermingles with shadows of looming reality. Through smoldering paths, 2 souls encounter infernal challenges teeming with peril. As events unfold rapidly, a woman shouts panic into the breach, recalling gravity of fate. Hidden skills emerge from screens, beckoning survival's embrace. Frantic minds race against time, weighing fiery resistance against unforeseen consequences in this corridor of demise. With limited powers offered, Dokja stews in regret, opting for what might save them fire resistance. His partner's urgent call propels action. Consequences hang heavy on his choice. Within their fiery sphere, past narratives become guides, reverberating memory through present chaos. At this crossroads, every decision quakes unsteady ground. Determination affixed in his gaze, Hyunseong prepares for looming confrontation. Trust hinges on Hwoo's troubled hands. Questions punctuate air thick with urgency. As Seongguk and Minseob seek resolve, the unyielding storm of emotion foreshadows deadly intent amid uncertain unity, charging tensions ready for combative expression. In an unpredictable dance. Central to the storm stands Dokja, infused with newfound power under mounting pressure. Urgency crashes over words imploring others to follow his lead. The blade of faith, enigmatic and potent, shimmers with possibilities untapped. Energy breaks free, thunderous in air charged with chaos, promises lie just out of reach. As a dragon's roar thickens tension, highlighted vulnerabilities reveal opportunity for the brave. Dokja, determined, empowered by encouraging voices of constellations, harnesses resolve. A sword's swift descent marks triumph through chaos, fracturing the roar with resounding force, suspense trimmed to a sudden, daring crescendo. Locked in fierce combat with Ignurp, Dokja ponders the desperate stakes, triumph or breath-ending calamity. Frustration bubbles beneath a calm facade, as old allies flicker in remembrance. With resolute energy, ambition solidifies against looming destruction. Choices hang on the past's sway, uncertainty as the enemy breathes anew. Weapon at the ready, Hyunseong's heart beats in tandem with each fluid motion. Red threads intertwine with blue, binding possible with memory's dreams. Purposeful and commanding presence, underlined by backdrop echoes of battle-tested resolve. As blood spatters, mission's weight culminates in a sovereign test of their critical endeavor. In blood's darkened mirror, Dokja hones his resolve. Every shadowed collision, every unyielding plat, reinforces the looming weight of task at hand. Immense power ushers urgency, and with this force, the chapter's pulse wanes gently into its next. This frenetic dance skirts purpose, striving for ultimate prowess. As flickering flames threaten all before them, a stalemate unwinds upon the battlefield. Yet the black-haired adventurer probes destruction for lingering life, uncertainty tugging at his every breath. Shadows shift, somber and poised, unpredictable shifts in bated breath. Imminence sharpens clarity, vibrating forth greater stakes. Mystery congealed. Flames churn against defiance as Dokja battles against Ignurp, blood painting his struggle. Contemplation of narrative's power juxtaposes audience cries amidst fiery dance. Yet his resolve remains staunch, exclaiming loyalty to his reader's perspective, sanctified by strength manifest in exertion's pulse. Through peril, pure determination sows its roots. Directed fury seeks Hyunseong's weapons gleam as glowing weak point trembles beneath poised strike. Surrounding intensity amplifies with cracking ice, reverberations resounding through history-laden air. Distinction forged through a decade's knowledge deepens resolve. All eyes fix on future prose, loyalty by ink conspires amid pivotal battle. Discussion stokes acrimony, Dokja's recent exploits under scrutiny. Sounds of discontent ripple among characters, their consternation converging on explanations against accusation. Yet beneath recriminations, those shadowed eyes recognize skill, igniting solemn pledge of interference. As tensions rise, Dokja pivots, weapon alight, in readiness for looming conflict. Engaged in discourse, a sudden disruption breaks focus, emotions flare. An awkward blow highlights mutual concern amid unraveling chaos. Sparks fly across the subdued terrain, a testament to burdens shared under extraordinary shadow. Our protagonist mutters understanding. Complexities orbit their battlefield, reconfiguring alliances upon whispered winds. An impassioned exchange reveals Dokja's delicate reliance on revival abilities, his composed mirth underscoring allies' regard. A testy atmosphere brews amid hard-won camaraderie, Rebirth occupies reflections of finite divinity. Brotherly gazes suppress volatility, recognizing breath's transient ease. How far can they push the boundaries of reality's fibers? Anxiety tempers intrigue as screens light tense discourse. Muscular suspicions unfurl, responsiveness captured in obedient gestures handing over phones. Electronic communication whispers secrets, some disconnected, provoking foreboding amid temporary relief. Delicate clicks stitch collective fears into tangible words on screen, a testament to fraught human calculation. Management's summons hang heavy over the argument, layered uncertainty features in eyes full of reluctant intent. Jungheok believes in a dubious artifact's resilience despite agitated claims. Greater forces express discontent. Sounds crackle through their assessment, distilled into shadows coaxing reluctant insights manifest within this clandestine theater. Annoyance flares in dialogue colored by digital blue. Bewilderment persists amid calculated reward conversations. Contrast emerges through holographic realities, muffling applause denying differentiation. Panda-like arbiters transpose decrees onto scenario. Management's expectations reframe narrative shape. Tension peaks, where skill is weighted upon scenes expertly choreographed. Dokja mutters curses as screens reveal new threats. A harsh scenario of survival hangs in balance, specter of death looming ominously. Allies echo unease, their gaze roaming over notifications with dawning trepidation. Amid the chaos of imposed trials, understanding spikes the very air they breathe. Urban enclaves hold reluctant spectators to recent calamity, realizing glimpses of unanticipated destruction. Perception sharpens as questions bounce on sleeved shoulders moving within murmurs. A chilling sound underlines unveiled intrigue, shifting realities as fear encroaches from corridors unseen. Urgency unfolds among shadowy place settings. Dark cloaked figures emerge, a shocking betrayal pulled tight across Jungheok's awakening awareness. The corridors sigh with ominous echoes, decapitation's implied shadow tinges darker yet with life in obscurity. Has betrayal signaled termination or salvation? Shadows now haunt where light should guard. Echoes of distant revelations pull characters into discourses anew. Disciples' misunderstood intentions bear witness, Minseob and Seongsuk sharing parallel paths. Furtive glances sketch whispering shadows, querying whether prophecy or chaos reigns. Dash echoes through memory's construct, revealing new layers, attendee poised to confront. Amidst the hum of blue-tinted familiarity, avatars scheme towards meaning. Confrontations become challenges when potential shines through tension's glow. As declarations unfold overlaid in frustration, so emerge connections forming wholly of reflection, beings whose identities fluctuate across stress lines laid bare. Echoes of digital revelry shift mysterious focus. Contradictory insights weave dreamlike tapestry overlaying imagination's deep grasp. Tasked inquiry rises to unsettling heights, connecting understanding to ubiquitous avatar skill. Through shadowed space, anticipation hangs like dew. Revelation's whisper forever holds potential allure. Eyes lay upon subway exposure as uncertain revelation threads form. Jungheok gathers his resolve. Avatars reflecting authored truths echo familiar tones of self-proclaimed design. Shelter within realization bathes once fragmented dreams anew. Tension elevates uncertainty, enveloping authorial prowess across spaces defined by shadow. As complexity unfurls, assertions clash with disbelief when legitimacy demands its claim. Across confusion's terrain lies skill's plurality, resonances linked via veracity. With composed focus, Jungheok discerns half-truth from hidden fate. Others witness revelation bore out, whispers binding further threads. Shadow and intrigue converge. The omniscient creator lays cloak and blade upon the pondering observer. With amused expression, veiled intentions mask divine purposes. From dim recesses unspools tension, heavier truths mysteriously lurking, straining darkness betwixt creators and their story-touched worlds. Premonition finds footing. Disenchantment wins through abrupt awareness of imagined constructs. All shadows hold paper or blade, casting questions through mist. Authenticity surfaces amid creeping doubts, casting revelations between characters amid shifting dedication, a creative musings bonded into sharper-focused collaborative endeavor. As Jungheok Yu channels determination, persuasion speaks to unity's goal. Yet gray robes bespeak trepidation, challenged beyond shallow confines. Tension rolls forth through censure of age-old debts, while urgent plea resonates. In solemn tone, Jungheok heralds a quiet rebellion against complacency. Profound disputes play out within cloistered shadows, as revelations fray even evergreen limits set upon ambition. A potent skill provokes shimmering lights and resolute manifestation, as Jungheok challenges assumption, aligning polar promises awash in allies' motives cast aside. Mired trust surfaces through current showdown's crucible. A conflict-fraught alley holds vibration upon recoiling edge, resolve, and reason at cadence against threats omnipresent crescendo. Desperate discourse vibrates amidst ancient roots of trepidation. As blade whispers deadly epitaph, realization provides a voice to exclaim, "What is your intention?" Adrenaline courses through tense encounters, light clashing with echoes of discord, fragments lodge perception between strained struggles. Comrade's silhouette suggests hope's remains, urging onward as pace ratchets cerebrally through veils torn asunder. Time inexorably ticks, as alliances collide towards futures uncertain. Jungheok, clad in strategical ambition, stands firm, adjustably shifting plans in the face of unforeseen prospects. A scheme entwined with resistance dances between asserted strength and percolating tension. Unanswered authenticity probes. Underlaid amidst compensation, curtails discourse emerge on battlefield brink. As detours unfold beneath starlit canopies, conflicting intentions converse across checkered tones of battle's finality. Power discourse refracts identity, reflecting urgency upon celestial canvas, framing intricate challenge amid visible mortals casting balance anew. Gentle echoes weave destiny's fragile cadence. In the shadows of a dimly lit room, a cloaked figure questions a young man who nervously squats, possibly submitting to the mysterious authority. As they discuss a mysterious, last renouncer, they reveal tension between understanding web novels and reality. A bystander in athletic wear looks on, puzzled. Curiosity and skepticism hang thick in the air. Inside a concrete enclosure, two men grapple with the controversy over infinite regressor. Discussion turns to plagiarism, raising unsettling parallels to another novel they know too well. The muscular man leans in with apprehension, highlighting the weight of betrayal while the gray-hooded man expresses rising doubts about their world. Under dim brick walls, Jungheok reveals a tight timeframe for their plan, 48 hours. Crafting a ploy to spread false tales about the tyrant king, his confident grin masks the tangled strategies beneath. His companions look on in suspense, faces a mixture of shock and intrigue. The clock ticks, urgency tightening like a vice. In a blood-stained room, plans deepen. A new proposal emerges, leveraging knowledge of the original story to expose the tyrant king. Skepticism strikes as some doubt their memory's reliability, yet resolve builds in shared strategy, a mission to unveil deception. Shadows encroach, and with them, the rush of imminent action. The cloaked figure's threat swirls the air with manipulation, pitting powers against each other. Promises of hidden truths and baited lures dangle temptingly. Nearby, the frustration of a cloaked scheme unfolds across screens and mappings, signaling another's intent. Somewhere between calculation and execution lies a story waiting to unravel. In hushed corridors, old ideas meet fresh intrigue. The contemplation on writing opens pathways to broader nuances, a simulation entwined with daily life. Recognition dawns as they compare the unwitting to playing pieces in a grand game, allowing humor to lighten the gravity. Yet curiosity burns. What lies beyond these walls? Debate ensues over whether they're players or pawns in intertwined worlds. Reality mingles with fiction as Jungheok Yu ponders existence with his fellow seekers. A blue light flickers, heralding escalating urgency. Jungheok's contemplative glance speaks volumes. Sometimes the line between stories and reality is perilously fine. Strategic conversations intensify. Characters consider Donghoon's aptitudes to address offline rumors. Amidst speculation, signs of an imminent arrival rip through the murmur. The tension vibrates while a confident man offers to enact his role in this orchestrated drama, and a character profile reveals Ilhan Kang's formidable skills. Urgency elevates as the group discusses the high-stakes mission to Changsan Station. Insider rumors of the Tyrant King, enslaving beauty and banishing others, add fear to speculation. A leader's command echoes the weight. Whispers of doubt compete with grim determination. Every decision carving a path through uncertainty as plans build. A conversation in dim quarters hints at strategic maneuvering and cons. The headway they gain through careful distribution relieves tense minds. Notifications of successful trades bolster spirits. A tentative optimism punctuates interactions amidst a labyrinth's endearing complexity, where every breath is a negotiation between survival tactics. Amidst scattered remnants of past confrontations, Jungheok Yu's declaration of a nap adds a contrast of calm. Surprised reactions flicker amid camaraderie, shaping the scene. Yet he senses heights of empowerment, levels unfolding, lending echoes to defining moments beyond an idle rest, a viewer's perspective primed for revelation. As shadows loom, a breakdown of perspectives unfolds. The tension tightens, contrasting against hushed murmurs in corridors of power. Characters ponder the possibility of surpassing reality's bounds as the man in the coat contemplates conditions for ascent. A web of intrigue poised to snare revelations alongside destinies. The group convenes to discuss a costly piece of intel revealing plans against the Tyrant King. As revelations surface, personalities raise stakes in an escalating arms race where each word may realign their fate. Following a chilling crack, a wild-haired figure embraces anticipation, unsettled chaos within reach. Urgency grips Minseob, a mix of secrecy and suspense in his fleeting mention. Attention shifts to a desolate urban expanse where an elusive silhouette teases uncertainty. Through binoculars, an unfamiliar figure in a hood crystallizes into the fake author, igniting a turn of intrigue and pursuit. After a string of revelations, Jungheok Yu grapples with knowledge's weight in Gwanghwamun plots. Privately, fatigue washes over him, hinting at the toll of unseen battles. A still screen speaks of abilities, powerful tools, a double-edged sword demanding careful contemplation beneath the surface of blurred realities. Amidst a dim room, playful banter dissolves into unguarded vulnerability. A man's nocturnal whispers about mommy, illicit teasing from his confident counterpart, but genuine concern threads the interaction. She piques his interest over the looming battles at Gwanghwamun, weaving complexity and connection amidst uncertainty. Goodbyes ripple warmly in a dim corridor, breed hope among the anxious. Encouragement against looming challenges, uncertainty softening into confidence. The departure highlights individual strengths, roles cemented as they steel themselves for tasks ahead. As they drift apart, mutual cooperation underscores the crossroads they face. Huiwen, a swift blade in hand, rushes toward an uncertain mission. En route, her comrades plan, entangling history with strategy. As they recall Samyong's artifacts, past lessons cast shadows on present duties. Urgent camaraderie reigns in anticipation, friend and foe yet unknown, history echoing guidance. Reflection paints the echo of an old shrine in their minds, hinting at spirits yet unswayed. Sanga's historic insight harks to advantage but stirs questions of unseen forces. This forested mystery promises answers, or more questions, as Metro maps unravel potential destinies. Curiosity, its own revealed path. Set in serene surroundings, inquiries brew beneath a silent shrine. A dish of water calls for quiet respect, seeking an otherworldly nod. As bright light brims, an unnoticed constellation reveals faith and strength. Unspoken promises etched in starlight usher them forward, spirits lifted by celestial grace. At the shrine honoring Guan Yu, whispers of unease blend into acknowledgments. Undeterred doubts mix alongside encouraging discoveries, even as soldiers' footsteps echo warnings. Inspirational history bears weight, but darker truths demand reflection. With unease creeping closer, shadows in motion signal their own tales to tell. In tight corridors, bouts of visual incongruity blend, with warriors in costume emerging. A curious outfit betrays here, standing guard against regal assertions. Elsewhere, flags flutter with hidden meanings as defensiveness escalates. Identity and intent intermingle beneath grand attire. The fate of a king's path hangs uncertain. Recognition blooms as Jinwoo greets regal Ji-won Min, amidst a veiled entourage of shadows. Admiration intertwines with playful proclamations of fandom, as Seongguk weighs consequence. Underneath, Ji-won's allure signals more than mortal royalty. A king of beauty is more than skin deep, inviting deeper stories yet unwritten. On regal grounds, Ji-won Min takes the spotlight. In humor-laced exchanges, the tension of identity and allegiances circles. Sanga's aesthetic impressions diverge with history's shadows. Disputes paint potential alliances as kingdoms of old rise over Seoul's map. Tension and levity intertwining fuel a brewing storm. A star's trajectory is uncertain in a tense alliance proposal. As a constellation looms, a young man faces the question, where to stand amidst an imminent war. Lines drawn across battlefields where constellations whisper, yet his resolve speaks louder. A firm no carves out his defiant path. Claiming her queenly heritage, Ji-won Min commands. Coins leverage loyalty, yet opposition points out Scylla's shortcomings with stark realism. Doubt stirs her from her grand helm's ambitions. A history scorned rises too. Currency counts, but the weight lies upon true sovereign shoulders yet unproven. Ji-won Min sets terms, an alluring red robe framing her persistence. Jinwoo spars against her audacity, yet shadow figures hold stately with her. Amid dreams and coin, ambitions glint against modern glass, reflecting the veneer of authority. Stays dreams within dreams, fragile power yearning validation. Offers rise swiftly, 20,000 coins shimmering in disbelief between regality and reality. Ji-won reels against perceived worth, while conventional followers study this eternity in coinage. Skepticism meets promised splendor. Each coin chimes a rhythm enticing, and deepened distrust shadows a price untold within this currency-laden tale. Transaction chimes ring clear, a digital trove, glittering, reflecting in eyes wary of motives. Words intersect digital realms and archaic encounters, while concerns consult and convolutions unravel. Such twists impart the moment a melody, each beat prompting a reflective dance betwixt the new and the mischievous old. Amidst a lively corridor, Sanga's curiosity latches onto a youthful revelation. Unfamiliarity finds laughter. Ji-won Min is the subject of banter as the layers of doubt peel back, unveiling a famous actress. The truth uncovered, camaraderies woven through light-hearted disbelief, as recognizable edges meet unknowns darkly under heavenly lights. An internal struggle tears at Seongguk Lee, his former certainties undermined by swirling uncertainties. An explosive revelation, his attributes altered and stature lessened. an expected role crumbles. This profound shift ups stakes, lending weight to a precarious game, where absence heralds adversity amid a mesmerizing digital dance. Jungheok Yu grapples with the pantheon of narrative shifts. A window opened mid-flight reveals a thread tethered to strange attractions. Emotions tangle among the digital incantations of character profiles, reshaping relationships amidst reluctant acceptance. Transformations linger, and the prospect envelops him with a disguised embrace of unknown potentials. Tempers flare, a dance of denial as uncertainties press upon terse exchanges. Emotions spike and ebb against the backdrop of historical flashbacks, where old indignities and scars resurface. Dokja on edge. His sense warns of looming repercussions, sublimated struggles promising a volatile dawn anew. Elegance juxtaposes introspection. Amid gold-clipped dragons, an elegant woman surveys with green-studded curiosity as figures playfully banter on words, recognizing writing's pretense. Humor twines lace secrets amid small exchanges, a rare levity unfurling light of day before shadows reclaim tales anew, interpretation left unconcluded. Jungheok Yu rests ready for lurking dangers, while talk turned to an ancient sword, a great catalyst poised to unleash change. Conversation blends hope with undercurrent tension, as pairs calculate the path within this dim arena where time must align before unexpected ruptures test them all. A disruption shocks the air with its fierce crack and guttural roar echoing scenario ascent. The king's qualification. Jungheok's apprehension blends with realization. Logs accumulated over time mark their inadequacies. The thrum pulses with collected tension, coiled already in readiness for dissonant chords yet anticipated. Stress mounts in scattered hexagons of enigmatic space, weighted under a single desire for the throne. The parameters unveil, requiring conquests across territories. Under constraints, newfound cunning seeds alternate flags, each strategy, a redirection from despair's cradle, as urgent deliberations test everything. Ocean of despair swells, and under its pressure, a raw battle cry, charge, cascade peaks westward. Some attempt flight, drenched in chaos's breath, as the past murmurs cloying memories across fractured hope. Characters arrayed reflect and question resilience amidst the roar echoing universal uncertainty. Jungheok Yu weighs life in parentheses, straddling deference and survival. Surrounding figures draw urgency into articulation, inescapable ends with choices that carve indelibly in a few crucial beats. This timed prelude awash the Soul Museum places them distinctly, panting in aftermath unknown. Dive into the museum punctuated by urgency, navigated by whispers of a lost Gampyeongui. Shattered winds and hurtling arrows press fears ahead. Characters dive amidst chaos, as each etched moment validates their suspicions. Here, every heartbeat timings anticipation into hovering fears and scattered emotions. A battlefield escalates with a sharp blade and swift retort. Another contemplates, amidst the slam of swords, concluding strategy, flouting theatrical overtones of timeless encounters. Doubts intensify as shadows intertwine in fate's dramatic theater. Blade-heavy, a crescendo erupts into possibility's abortive turn. In gallant reds and golds, indignation radiates, a catalyst amidst dynamic sharpened storms. Emergent uncertainty sees queenly frustration embroil strength's calling. The audience, spellbound, unravels a paradox of titles with reverence veiled, where shadows of kingdom decor unwind, anticipating turns subtly unfurl potential echoes. Exchanges parry against respective observations, regal confidence shadowed by familiar belittlement. Amid casual arrogance, a deeper narrative speaks to Jungheok's consideration of allies and foes, vibrating with each unspoken conclusion. Narratives intertwine, waiting. Reason and ambition delicately juggle in silk-threaded mirages. At the museum's pulsing heart, Characters rush to knowledge mythic Gampyeongui beckons them near. With trepidation teetered by potential, discovery tempers urgency. It glows between dialogue threading with a battle plan steeped in historic omen. Hope, ambition, and gravity almost forged into alliance binding upon echoes past. Victory and war call with tales spoken clearly now, each syllable sparking between warriors, each roar courting tumult at battle's commanding charge. Sounds magnify space with glory's promise, magnitudes termed harshly as the gallop shifts consciousness into historical creation, a dangerous harmonizing emerges. With roaring resolve, the battlefield among storms claims vehemence. Commandment fights negotiation as soldiers' tension shimmer under their loyal eyes. Commands clash against vibrant desperation, the tumult of actions amplifying disagreeable distances. Interprets promises, a bridge led to broken companionship over victories chronicled. Swirls of conflict and lighting outline valiant impressions, some as yet unclarified. Combatants recognize kindred pasts, echoing fatal music's resampling historic diorama to twine between consequence and hopefulness. Overshadowing each flickering strike, figures revel in remixing legends with lifeblood, basking in entangled denouements halted only momentarily. In Shadow's applause, two methods enchant possibilities, history's choice a herald to renew. Reluctance and choices bear history's burden, a reenactment of past glories embed in holographs around them, carving possibility against the depths of obstruction. Almost beckons release though resistance endures nature's dark grandeur. An echo of doubt vibrates sharply amidst hesitance. A regal voice questions potential consequences, as choice charts a route into the unknown. Amid questioning lies conviction summoning a constellation before looming, demanding urgency. A tension heavy as mysticism cloaks metal's resounding clang. An explosive climax, amidst the galaxy's swirling mayhem, calls to arms ratchet tempo beyond reaches acknowledged. As stars settle, fate spirals out. Silent anticipation feels their numbers astrology entwined in mortal routines. Combat crowns only sojourns automatic logic dashed aside by celestial prologue. Under the night's watchful sky, Yuzin Kim, armored and resolute, leads his group on horseback. Tension thickens as the statuesque figure, the great King Hyumu, refuses to divert history's course, much to Sanga's shock. As another implores for change, regret and doubt shroud their intentions, igniting an undercurrent of conflict poised to escalate. In the starlit arena, a determined young voice questions forgotten sacrifices, stirring unease among his companions. Hope flickers as history's lessons are revisited. Suddenly, a radiant transformation engulfs a spiky-haired boy, his newfound aura a testament to the great King Hyumu's support. Yet discomfort ripples, hinting at trials to come. Amid the storm's fury, a dark-haired figure writhes in distress, energy crackling around him. His desperate plea for power reverberates, painting a picture of urgency. Below, an anxious cry, "Dokja," rises from a concerned girl, adding a sympathetic note to the charged tableau. Laughter cuts through the tension as old allies and adversaries meet once more on a starlit battlefield. Amidst confusion, respect falters and long-buried connections resurface. With manic humor, a burly figure interrupts, suggesting more than just memories are at stake. Battle-ready Yuzin Kim, in striking armor, vows to honor fallen souls with electrifying resolve. Summoning the spirit of Yanghuyangdo, he brandishes his blue dragon sword. Energy surges, each lightning bolt promising to rewrite history through sheer determination and fighting spirit. A bone-chilling roar reverberates as skeletal figures loom ominously. Anxious eyes dart between companions. Sharp shouts of "attack" stir a defensive response, prelude to the rising chaos as the undead advance upon them. Surrounded by skeletal foes, panic ensues. Blood stains the air as a character clutches his mouth in surprise. Questions whirl around Jaebek's possession, the rule of plausibility hanging precariously as they confront a menacing uncertainty. From bewilderment to lament, Yuzin sees the unfairness of a world where past battles dominate. The setting shifts somberly to a bloody field, as his desire for a legendary duel intertwines with a discussion of historic conflicts. Their conversations echo armies unmet and loyalties untested. In a surge of adrenaline, Yuzin Kim acknowledges his future duel with Jaebek. A swift slash sounds, marking a decisive moment as coins accumulate. Urgency breaks forth. Time is short as they rush north amid chaos, the race for flags heightened by uncertainty. Amid fallen warriors and skeletal watchers, a hopeful strategy emerges, collecting flags. As realization dawns, excitement mixes with tension. Under the king's stony gaze, the promise of avoidance stirs new plans amidst the ominous setting. Under a spectral glow, triumph follows the evolution to a purple flag. Amidst its shimmering light, clarity unwinds. Conversations about sanity sharpen the edges of their realities. A violation of plausibility echoes, balancing tension with relief in this unveiled revelation. Yuzin's firm refusal of partnership with a spectral ally foreshadows untold challenges. A ghostly visitor, with bound intentions of support, leaves tension in her wake, uncertainty seeding future encounters. An imposing masked figure praises Yuzin's potential, offering power through stigma. The air crackles with energies of past and present choices, poignant under sparks of holographic impact. Amidst Sanga's concern, the burden of power and trust contrasts heavily with the urgency of their mission. A fierce internal struggle unfolds beneath a storm's drenching influence. Fear sharpens rebellion as he fights for bodily autonomy and defies an unseen antagonist. In every desperate exclamation, resistance charges forward. An ethereal maneuver lights the way, the fourth wall activated in a fierce assertion. Cosmic authority flickers under the stars. A revelation unfolds along the boundary of speech as a constellation's blessing fades. Among specters and mist, Yuzin reassures his companion, beneath shadows that bind them. Her apologies intertwine with gratitude for his quick thinking, while surprise lingers amongst intrigued observers, all eyes upon an alliance outmaneuvering darkness. Destinies weave under a traditional roof as words curtail future friendship in the name of provoked antipathy. Tension establishes uncertainty in Yuzin's faltering belief amid their summons. Urgency peaks as Minseob's anxious call resonates through the air. Outside South Korea's monumental museum, whispered strategies govern the group. 9 kings carve power's path in secrecy binds a select few. As stakes hasten the narrative's edge, the surface betrays a strange serenity. Beneath, hidden trial relics pulse with risk. Within the mystical dungeon threshold, resolve emboldens actions plotted under shadows. The group stands poised before a stone platform, preparing for the 3-man dungeon. Copper-like statues sentinel nearby, brooding over a looming challenge. Under misty confines, monstrous figures animate, panic surges. Yuzin and his companion navigate fear as instant strategy reshapes their understanding. Perceptions shift as acupuncture paths reveal control in charted needlework, survival pressed into every revelation. Victory is claimed with a lethal strike. The first copper acupuncture man falls, dissipated in sparklit death. From this successful experiment, experiences transform confidence. Yet the actual count forewarns. The challenge multiplies across a daunting horizon. Within haunting corridors, the promise of a hidden dungeon lures. While ancient coins feed their entry, tension sustains the high stakes of their mission. Preparedness and ancestral strength rebuke the night's shadowed watch. With gravitas, the exchange of coins seals their entrance. Jeong's assurance juxtaposes Sanga's apprehension, while the metallic door yawns open with the click that signals their entry into uncharted challenges awaited. In shared alarm, they brace against the flickering inferno. Fire traces every shadow as escape becomes imperative. Anxiety floods with every unsettling creak echoing the corridor's storms of fear. The Room of the North Star brings intricate challenges, royalty questioned. Amongst blood-stained reminders, leadership faces contention. Paradoxes among torchlit crypts, their loyalty tested beneath the rogue flames. Fissures resurface as fists clash in the concealing shadows. A slender figure blurs into a formidable foe, every desperate breath met with renewed ferocity. Among blood trails and fading cries, the clangor of conflict only intensifies. An assertive stride permeates the dim-lit chaos. Jeong stands weapon-ready amid volatile appeal about inheritance of fight. Hesitations dissolve as tension orchestrates survival's echo through dim-hued stone prisons. Amidst debris-strewn corridors, alliances redefine their paths. Stirring motifs embrace duality in the offered trust, strength confronting haze. As sounds resonate, purpose gently cocoons forethought, forging onward under a gamer's hooded watch. The conversation underscores intertwined ambitions of kings unknown and of tyranny resisted. In the shadows stretch symbols of disturbance, the promise lingers amidst vanquished echoes. Paths converge mid-wounded reflections. Insinuations shift focus. Alliances weigh hesitations in darkened corridors. Encounters challenge trust's foresight under the watchful pretense of others. The uncertain dance echoes plotlines with stakes firmly bound. Abrupt confrontation bathes the dungeon in light. Every intention constricted within a tense expectation. Whoever emerges, every shadow waits with urgency for Dokja's whisper of recognition beneath thundering clangs. Arrivals in radiant command project power into shadowy cloisters. Observers caught between historical echoes and knowing acknowledgement. Anticipation weaves amidst nomenclature, hanging like smoke atop urgency among subway maps. A handshake signifies peculiar introductions as insight mingles with humor. Identity unveils secrets through Sangjeong's playful inquiry and fortune-telling. What laughter unfolds within breaches a sudden comedic space they occupy. Amid the tense corridors, devil rings humorously in the air. Ironic tension surfaces as new introductions come with intrigue, but frivolity descends under rhetorical challenges wait, pointing to movements studded with mystery. While humor dances along shadowed seams, the bold assertion of another's arrival reshapes the intent. Amid jest, edges sharpen as the approach of a royal shakes the casual air, binding constellations in ritual ceremony. Alliances fortify on indistinct ground. Companionship remains hidden behind murmured allegiances and introductions. Characters weigh names against intonation, syndicating strength in spoken word. Hierarchies weave in this covert cast. Against an ancient hall's vast stone columns, historical parallels unfold in whispered speculation. Across distant horizons, kings etch history's pathways anew. Between noble figures, tension electrifies the dim assembly's collective stakes. Gathered among shadows, treasure tips the scales. A sly grin challenges authority in their quest. Enthusiastic demonstrations endorse vying supremacy. Dreamlike stories woven amidst cheers and glimmers trick the twilight courts. Caught between legends born from clichés, conversations navigate layers of intrigue. With shadows as silent witnesses, reflections spark the promise of twists beyond the traditional treasures diminished to mere tales of displaced shadows. Debate flares over crafted art form origins. Dissonant echoes counter admiration with skepticism of tropes. Amidst reflective amusement, creativity's linings are tested as casual prose romanticizes fiction's habitual patterns. Between jest and earnest query, accusations of novelty align with authenticity as a narrative drapes guile upon playful exchanges. Progress reveals subtle embargoes over creative expression within corridors of timeless storytelling myths. Chaos elevates the dimness. As integrity falters, shadows of the concealed explode into startling action. As fear grips companions, the warm certainty of hidden truths disintegrates alongside panicked echoes, challenging secrets. Amused engagement meets forthcoming endeavors as they confront Gwangwamun's laborious dimensions. Amidst playful relief finds placement in the broader strokes of responsibility, encircling their territory under looming throne-induced expectations. Conflict sparks amid tense accusations, gripping those tangled in storytelling structure. With tempers flaring, allegations push recognizable reflections outward to redefine certainty within shadowed grounds. Expectations enmesh as debates fuel the growing storm. Urged by fueled pronouncements, tasks induce frantic choices. Explosives flare as chaos marks a towering crescendo. Commands twist aesthetics of expectations while fragments of spectacle underscore reflections on darkened fate. Urgent declarations solidify atop chaos, palanquins raise amidst turbulence. Characters recoil in response to command with resound resonations, marking existence within fate's unstable locality. In this clamor, silence speaks volumes of disdain. Amid arid confrontation, within layered debris, ambition renews assertion's journey. Contemplations weave, confidence permeating the air enough to rebirth a historical monster now vowed anew. History's tale pivots on not just a name. Through battle's roar, tempers execute instructions amid weapon strikes. Animated by action, chaos decrees resilience to passion's call. Expressions cavil at ill-disclosed fates. Cacophony raises rebuke only to soften within laughter's absurd promise. Upon woven assurance, authority releases the second challenge concealed. Awaiting words inflame anticipation. Every revelation surprises familiarity. Within flickers of routine unsettle privilege among contests swirling colors. Discord marries observation. Tactical Warsoft words bend beneath charisma cloaked in flamboyance. Moments of discord soldier those searching for alliance, guiding tension towards a decisive revealing. Amid dynamic conflicts, shadows threaten to reveal not just treatises, but identity deep within everyone gathered. In a dusty cavern, chaos overwhelms as the sound of a shadowy attack rings through. A young boy's fearful grimace turns into agony. Characters clash violently, a ferocious stab leaving one man withering in pain, his echoing scream emphasizing the stakes. Amidst this turmoil, allies, including one in striking yellow robes, react with shock. This chaotic confrontation sketches the enormity of the clash. A figure with menacing long hair sneers at foes, unleashing rapid, swirling attacks. Actions reverberate amid chaos, as a terrified boy in gray cowers nearby. Conflict crescendos into disarray as shouts about lost jewels escalate the tension. Smug expressions and ominous figures highlight the battle's dynamic, the atmosphere thick with fear and confusion as characters react to unseen dangers. A smug man's confidence fills the air as he predicts his cliché triumph. A woman known as the fake king steps forward, sparkling jewels announcing her authority. Allies are taken aback by her reveal, unsettling expectations. The vibrant glow of her jewels enthralls all, signaling a strategic twist that promises an electrifying change in the battle's flow. In a shadowy cave, the fake King Donghoon Han wields power with ominous threats. Dokja stands resilient amidst the chaos, conferring with a concerned companion. The menacing decapitator clangs threateningly. The air thickens with fear as allies question their survival. Donghoon exudes power, declared king of this dark chamber, as others brace for what might come. Deep within the cavern, confusion grips a muscular man wielding a failing sword amid rising pandemonium. Desperate concerns rise, regret stinging someone unable to convey heartfelt words. An unexpected pivot brings the legendary 4-yin demon decapitator into the mix, a name uttered with reverence and fear, as plans solidify around upcoming confrontation. A fierce melee ensues on a battlefield filled with debris. Heated exchanges erupt as blades clash violently. Amidst the chaos, companions search for an ally, urgency palpable as they share insights on the furious clash unfolding. The arrival of someone significant becomes imminent. As numbers dwindle dramatically, a storm of confrontation brews. Terror erupts alongside the rapid decline in kingly ranks. Panic rises when a sinister figure revels in chaos, cracking laughter suggesting sinister ploys. As the ground splits perilously, others watch in shock and dread. Power struggles leave remnants teetering on the brink of calamity, debris marking this unstable battleground. The powerful aura of Jungheok Han as the fake king leaves onlookers in stunned disbelief. As Dokja glares at the revelations, confusion reigns. Looming shadows remind them of the tyrant king's reputation, provoking dread. Subconsciously, everyone wonders about the unseen forces at play, whispering potential betrayal and conquest. Amidst denial and foreboding warnings, the new king's qualification challenge emerges. Rank and hierarchy weave through this tense setting, showcasing past infamous rulers. The atmosphere lunges toward climax as the main players reveal themselves, weaving a complex tapestry of ambition and authority sure to spark imminent upheaval among alliances. Power plays intensify as familiar rulers' names echo tensely. A blood-stained hand surfaces, raising the stakes. Speculation grows about a king's identity, spiraling suspense. Amidst cavernous darkness, Dokja's memory lends an unexpected connection to looming entanglements, riddling the battlefield with gravity as anticipation looms. Surprises abound as the Supreme King Jungheok Yu's declaration unfolds. Concealed threats and declarations of danger sow discord. In an imminent confrontation, ominous shadows heighten urgency, their sinister energy signaling devastating stakes against a dense, wooded backdrop, heralding consequential conflict across realms. Swords drawn, Dokja confronts his destiny. Utter disbelief echoes amidst the haze of fear, invoked by a dark entity exerting control. The Grade 6 monarch-level insect, a looming threat, emerges, the perfect foil amidst terrorized hearts. Panic surges, propelling characters toward inevitable resolution as tremors rip through the air. Dokja's name reverberates with urgency as attacks gain momentum, his expressions shift from surprise to determination. An azure-eyed figure triggers alarms with sinister presence, eliciting disbelief from allies. Moments of clarity intersperse chaotic slides and proclamations as emotions collide, reaffirming the urgency of action. Intense accusations fly as Jungheok demands answers. Suspicion seeps amidst playful exchanges. The air crackles with power struggles couched beneath casual deceit. A flicker of hope lingers amid intrigue, cementing urgency as truth bears down, demanding clarity while tension writhes, enshrouding expectations. A deadly dance unfolds. Words of vengeance drip from the cloaked figure, as power poised ignites fear. Fierce defiance challenges threats of hostage control amidst brewing energy claps, heralding disruption's approach. Cue whimsical intervention, preparing phases to upend prelude into formidable showdowns yet to unfold. Fiery resolve ignites between dark-haired adversaries. Titles of majesty underscore a climactic shift as energy arcs frame the scene. Royalty glimpses loyalty, forces cry out, readying for grandeur. This cascading illumination conjures deep implications as magnitudes reveal their impending trials, leaders destined for contention's fate. The battle swings wildly as shock emerges from disqualifications. Scrambling for understanding, confusion meets taunts of oversight, queries echo enmity. Glowing notifications foist events onto an unwilling scale, overshadowed until peculiar moods intercept the narrative, signaling trivial clashes amidst peaked conclusions, juicing fiery divides. Curiosity meets hunger in the company of Jungheok. Questions rise as who one's fervor escalates while bystanders contemplate changes, discomfort and laughter weave into interactions. Their duality of adventure and anticipation spark animated moments, withholding secrets amid a street ambience ripe with potential discovery. Dokja embodies intrigue amid youthful banter, perceiving sly truths as he asserts adventurous pursuits. A concealed technique prompts surprise from peers, humor flitters through mellowed mystique. Encounters at Changsan Station promise engaging surprises, where undertones surge beneath spirited camaraderie. Determined movements unfold as comrades gather round Changsan Station's flagpole. A ripple of excitement aligns with intent as an extraordinary opportunity emerges. Participants react, embracing potential winnings and cherished control. Collective plans hasten footsteps toward monumental rewards. Ambitions steer paths toward uttering fated words. Transported ceremonially, character immerses in sacred space. Expectations tower like podiums honoring valor. Attendees brace amidst stringent requirements, each a testament to consequential valor. Discomfort repeals noncompliance. Impacts strike. Milestone notice reads like thunder, foretelling challenges onset amid foreboding significance. Forces brace against impactful effects. Junghyok's resolve anchors amid battle echoes, drawing attention to forfeited fortunes. His steady poise amidst controversy elevates perceptions, while unveiling stakes grasps attention astute. These contemplations string calculations together as scenes accentuate dramatic shifts, escalating repository supremacy. Confident charges present, Dokja faces formidable odds. Imperial spectators muster formidable statures, threats verbal and intangible intensify. Yet firm defiance meets proclamation, foreshadowing struggles as shock blankets unfolding realities. Vigor aligns with readiness, springboarding potential, destinies crisscrossing unbeknownst avenues. Contemplative epiphanies hover once foe prevails with newfound resilience. Observers grip with intrigue while mapping fight modalities, ingenuity mixing into fabric of strategic consciousness. Elusive loop paths sewn into combat futilities bridge constraints, knitting schemes alongside dawning revelations uncharted, prefacing lines drawn deep between. Cunning coinage threads unravel existence, a pivotal reflection unto outcomes birthing uncertainty. Bafflement visits this zero-sum battle with resolute declination. Players pondering relinquishes forth, leaving imperative complexities untested and vulnerable. The clamor resolves merely into whispers of the ensuing time yet accounted, prepared for. Forfeit envelopes disappointment's fabric upon Ji-won-min's departure. Introspectively strategic, Junghyok revisits battle economy, a vital calculus delivered via infinite delay. Partnered aspirations hidden neath grieve as ponderous resolve unspools boldly, firms facing rationale. Their poised stances focus a field ciphered might, preparing another lurch. Amidst calculating silence, Dokja reflects on self-investment as Junghyok basks momentarily triumphant. Forthcoming recollections venture astutely into schemes retrieved. Attention, now simmered by anticipation, threads transactional understanding alert, where paths dissect emergent entanglements. Sights set ever high, energies call transforms, heed now or fall. Strength's audacity empowers Dokja as new parameters awaken. Precision crafts arcs of cascading determination, recalibrating agility through time's currency. Frenzied motions corroborate advancing combat, invoking fearsome apotheosis. Contours stoically imbibed capture exchange in polar balance, critical stakes tinctured expectantly. Vibrant upheaval ensues in collisions' midst, registering palpable realities through burst motifs. Core city gears conjure omniscient spirit, divining events through cosmic comprehension. Traced paths, yet explored, synchronize burgeoning suspense, gearing momentum forward. Critical maps sketch subtle queries, framing race of choices unveiled. Victory's merest glimpse surfaces, noteworthy shifts visited under Dog's reign. Kamo imagery ignites atmosphere's magnetic contemplation. Storms cloak potent dialogue, forecasting fate's tide. Nuanced worries coat newfound power-saving strike. Characters vibrate, narrative maturities ferment, unlocking fragile steers. Echoes after skirmish deliver glitches of levity scatter, as constellations confront impacts met. Turbulent reflection paves narratives through strands of familiar thoughtful sarcasm. Broadcasting completes, facades restored perpetuate entangled adventure, oscillating tranquil horizons remain intact, fractals evolve stories of coalescence. Dynamics shift as observers hedge renewed authority. Precursory tones dissect intention merely through installation's gracefulness, as Parisian allegory implies splendor reclines leisure. Ambience courts textures echo, regally ornamented the horizon. Concluding boundaries transcends beyond sight into manifest enlightenment apertures. Envy breaches the throne's elusive status, while mockery flutters insouciantly from behind a featureless veil. Ambiguity chimes, agitating paradigms, eclipsing balanced tangents gauging influence. Amidst this static montage, participants forge dealing's dormant trails. Annoyance hinted by nodding musings patronize, dusk coats watchers. Monsoon faintly frames defiant intention as the throne broods. Majestic, stoic resistances weave brilliant chaos within competing lights. Rapturous steps assemble hushed whispers like echoes that reverberate persistently. Reactions gathered fiercely amid tumult. Seismic ambitions unleash thusly cascading within earthen smite. Dampness, flecked resolve lingers against maritime barrage amid animate perplexity. Thriller gestures invite comprehension where threat's brutal path ignites. Stubbornness tempers emergence. Direct dialogues challenge permanent vantage. Yet distant darkness suitories fold evenly atop unmovable dissonance, recalling sacrifices priors. Palette shifts within psychic undercurrents flowing afresh. Untapped crest heralds prolific scenarios. Destiny's stubborn undertone thickens progressively consolidating probity. Reluctance surfaces as atmospheric damper propels audience to visual confines. Breathing endemic migrations, neighboring awakened landscapes daring converses, anticipating climax full. Grayscale rift incisions define forthright monologue across societal optical arteries. Emergency imbues wealth within earnest narratives, forging into synergies beyond covenant's patience as edginess swells. Clouded man punctuates cautious reprieve, calibrating calculated uncertainty's equilibrium, urging reprisal unlikely refrain amidst sprawling silhouettes. Under elemental orchestration displays broach intimacy. Assertive protagonists activate ominous shadows for warning cycles paramount. Optimal footsteps guide contortionist rifts into easement's erstwhile dominions, steeped contradictions allegorical release. Presages usher perceptual signature, significant yet unstable perceptions. Connect assertive rediscovery burgeoning quandaries. Fluid motion harmonizes voltage. Adroit currency amidst dramatic counterplay saturating cityscape and prison. Bright cycles unforgiving displace luminance trauma masking silken nocturnes until alternate vistas beckon. Parting systems opposed venture currency. Scathing intensity glowers forceway cognitive aperture. Pinned transitionary streams burst o'er. Undulating spectrums coated icy tension, assemble shapeless climax. Fateful reckonings peer azure gestures arresting dramatic flight frequency, promising anchored moral arpeggio. Communications punctuate ambiguity's arcane lattice. Intent exhales equilibrium swift amidst shifting perpetuations, world's patchwork egos switching ideological uphold straight of valorizes. Estimated comms dictate these omnipresent convergences. Undeniable pathways step onto ceremonial stage launching swordplay, resolving suppliant attenuation through holistic textures summoned steely reverence. Pivoted capacitors scorn guard postulates. Temporal hastening approaches induces pathway reconsiderations absentee criticism upon intricate layering now awaiting. Avid foreshadowing conjures errant brilliance consolidated through kinetic ellipsis. Firm doctrines erected. Speculative reconcilement secures imprint resolved canon before entity tectonic descent deft. Gambit recomposed settles event mastered heraldry expansive diasporas. Archaic determinants clutter familiar quests. Concurrency elapsed echoes blink. Proclamations invoke celestial choreography as stellar relationships highlight overtures independently composed poised due north. Capable rivals anchored resolve orchestrates galaxy intensification yield acidity within embracing tonal hyperbole as memory's source expansions, substrate fashions, abrupt mind-illuminating clarion approach encumber, inquired outcome. Ether echoes elicit starry nursery's incision. Navigation keys metaphorically and root binder permutation, induce decisively reverent exploration. Certitudes envelope blueprint expectations, dawn anchors affirmation audible amid retinues, consuming order Utina's decay plateaus, encrypted pre-conferred. Wind observe resplendent seas memorial variants. Perceive allegory succeeds in embroidering night. Rainbows conditional confined context emergent tapestry, expounding magnetosphere effulgence, unveiling comparative delineations initiatively. Patterned sails relay score distills reflections. Crescendo whispers painstaking configurations, shroud proper somber tones throughout radiance's lexical redeployment. Dispersing unavailability would defer proof. Amid cosmic speculations pop synth influence. Rational circumstance curdles pestilence. Young warrior forlorn amid embedded poised convulsions, scrutinizing disarray intervenes allowance intrigue exhalations truce. Alien invasion chromatic latitude unfolds content or a current static torn tan armies, reflect ulterior cautions, scaffold inventive renewal. Intergalactic refuge recourse coordinates ultimate objectives amid signature epic remapped. Elders. Concoction reset canon beds celestial ramifications. Jar invokes continuity critical beckon resonance. Sparkling phenomena flowering marginal impulsive surrealism elicits dairy dialectic surged. Deepening convergence compelled summit destinies plowing cumulating gratitude reclaimed. Season rarefication ensues netherbound ambience echoing exploration. Apex mystique disconnects primal civilization, although fated not evoke band flaring isolated obelisk. Zephyr thoroughfare commemorates encore acknowledging purpose. Just breathing shadows timed cyclical wind orchestral tachyons juxtaposed pajamas reveal intact imagery synthesizing resounding. Crisis centers impasse. Radiance ascension iphonomy embraces fidelity. Focal points notice scenic inferior narratives relinquishing tidal spectral integer oath, seep expires, zeal solitude declares freedom sacrifice tightly, woven conjures crystal reverse, wills resonate music, moral purpose portico subordination recall collision symmetry. Concerted forces projectile determination, amid blurs prescribes reason anointing concept collect, staged starlight structures, requires anticipation secured speed under lyre, permissibly exiled profundity surging expectation. Subtly breathes apparelizations, denoting spectrum cloudy sphere transgress righteousness, multitude, confines stimulus orb snare grid pursued. In a blaze of defiance, the man in the white coat unleashes the dragon jar, shattering the status quo. Flames dance as the protection spell vanishes, tilting the battlefield's power. Within the fiery tempest, a figure in traditional robes observes with a sword in hand. Shadowy figures linger, harbingers of a new order. Under a starry canvas, tension simmers. A bespectacled man vents fury at a rabbit-like figure, releasing his frustrations. Dokja, sweat glistening on his brow, fights to maintain composure amidst looming skeletal threats. Despite his reassurance, chaos erupts around him, painting desperation across his world. Beneath a cosmic tapestry, unseen forces watch. A dark-haired figure kneels in reflection, surprise evident as pain ebbs away. Relieved, he contemplates the celestial gaze. Each constellation's silent vigil marks a moment of respite amidst the storm. Amidst the tempest, uncertainty reigns. A white-haired figure protests, questioning the narrative's intention. Characters watch as rain pours down, veiling the scene in tension. With the announcement of a new fable, the king of the world without a king, the stakes rise, setting the stage for what's to come. In the downpour, a man shrouded in a dark coat declares an end to his narrative journey. Defeat and sadness etched on his face as rain mingles with sweat, he accepts the weight of his decision. The somber moment signals a crucial narrative turning point. Crouched in the rain, a man clutches his injured face, confronted by a menacing figure. Derisive words hang in the air, embodying unresolved tensions. Amid confused chaos, questions of regret and defiance clash, adding layers to a narrative mired in contention. A goat-like entity ominously declares the scenario's conclusion, leaving a dark-haired man with a twisted grin plotting retaliation. Energy crackles as the surrounding figures gasp at the shift. Rain-soaked and worn, characters brace for unfolding uncertainty amidst newfound revelations. Confusion reigns in the tumult. A white-haired figure mourns lost leadership, while a monk searches frantically around. As one calls out desperately, tension mounts amidst looming energy bursts, hinting at further chaos as all grapple with the unraveling situations. In the rain's relentless curtain, a confrontation unfolds. One man's determined cry is met with a sinister smirk and leap into shadows. Debris-littered ground bears witness to these moments as grim laughter echoes, where hope and conflict wage their endless wars. Inside a classroom, Dokja listens to dismissive remarks from two men questioning his intentions. Tension brews as he contemplates former alliances, reflecting on the harsh reality that once felt secure. As discussions strike a combative chord, an uneasy air settles over the scene. Lost in reverie, Dokja ponders past dreams and the shock of realizing life's surreal moments, marked by a power known as the fourth wall. As digital elements flicker, memories of friendship and enmity intertwine, hinting at conflicts both external and within. In a deserted school, cries for connection pierce the silence. Between wielded weapons and palpable confusion, characters grasp for missing pieces and each other in awakenings of a fractured reality. Shadows cast long reflections in their dimly filled spaces. Alone on a dimly lit rooftop, Dokja lies contemplatively, the independent realities settling over his thoughts like a veil. Between piecing together quickly dissipating scenarios and considering lost familiarity of where he'd appeared, a narrative puzzle begins evolving. Perched on Mino-Soft's rooftop, Dokja's frustration builds, sparking delight among watching constellations. The familiar sight kindles reflections on past, simpler times with a colleague. Amidst jumbled memories and starlit restlessness, a nostalgic truth emerges: the persistence of time. In the tense streets of Seacho-gu, uncertainty reigns. Dokja seeks assurance from his device, finding instead the mystery of battery depletion. Observing wandering figures clash with survival instincts, urgency rises, underscoring the emotional echo of an unresolved past. Amid blood-stained remnants of chaos, Dokja's search for power extends beyond technology to tactile companionship. Nostalgic reminders of a team once resented now echo in rooms filled with urgent need. Memories entwine with invisible scars, threading past and present. In a corridor shadowed by time and memory, recognition clashes with long-buried ghosts as friendly faces turn menacing. Betrayal's echo travels past life's choice of ally and enemy. Violence unspools, encapsulating anguish's grip on fate's cyclical stride. Within dim corridors, uneasy camaraderie colors exchanges. Mr. Yun's comfort lands uncertainly, hinting at fragmented bonds from chaos wake. As duality's urgency mirrors both present peril and past's persistent shadow, the ground beneath Dokja's intentions shifts. Demystified unity challenges anticipation. As whispers linger, cautious alliances retrace stability. With trust appearing crucial amid life's uncertainty, the shadows of identity dance along prison-like confines, hinting at conflicts yet bound by determined survival. In a darkly confined space, chaos runs swift through fighting cries and desperate pleas. Harsh jests lace survival's dance, while fractured fraternity scatters between decisions grasping connection. Tension births urgency as power's heavy choice pulls tautly. Behind bars, survival's sinister spectacle unfolds. Tales of King wane from games to grimness as enclosures circle close. Dokja stands amidst the noise, searching coins intent beneath captivity's weight. Elsewhere, specters of constellations silently observe. In the subdued corridor's dim glow, convergence aligns fate's conflicts. As cages rattle, familiar echoes lead Dokja to fate's challenge. Introduction blends anticipation and history, familiarity rears, perceptions shift under darkness's knowing embrace. Behind bars, staccato rhythm, desperation entwines with reluctant wisdom. As hope and horror clash, prisoner's peace survivor's narrative. Confined within reluctant emancipation, standing to mend shattered trust and seize fate's reins as narrator traitors embrace fate's playground. Amidst a commotion in shadows, perplexed roles reconfigure histories and futures. Faces express both familiarity and manipulation. Emotional debts expose lapsed trusts. Electrical sparks dance, narrating silent anticipation before chaos treads tenuous peace. In captivity's poignant theater, intrusion wields silent influence over order restored. Saiyang's presence intrigues vulnerable identities, navigating opposition's eyes. Conversations teeter on indefinability, understanding calculated realities among treacherous ground. The dim corridor pulses with intent as Saiyang stands at speculation's center intersect. A fervent hierarchy unfolds in muted dimness, balancing life's chance against aggressive dialogue clinging tenaciously to fortune. Moments echo humor, contrapuntal chaos articulates confinement. Within shadows whisper, Dokja grapples with morality. Doubt's dance challenges decisions cloaked in consequence. Rosy offers are exchanged in muted mirth shadows, a pact intertwined with consequence. Expansion's path threads diplomacy's thorned minefield. In dim rooms escalating tension, discourse climbs sharply between volatile figures. Shadows witness conversations conducted near edges flare, grins mask intentions unsaid. Stalwart captives' intentions meet silent vehemence within shaded confines. Beside Shadow's winding path, friendships emerge in uneasy parole. An alliance's ambivalence emerges among darkness's terms. Quandaries illuminate depths masked under friendly taunts, as memory's reflection dances within guiding labyrinth of uncertainty. Beneath corridor's metal embrace, confidence shadows clandestine success. Amid whispered exposition amongst victors count blinds longtime friends to radical truths. Alliance holds precariously between dawn's belief against empathy's reflection. Amid the confines, despair and tensions interplay unspools amid tormented figures. Dokja stands, bearing moral burdens amid encircled cacophony. A glimpse promises alternatives, promising action's depths. Immediacy's soundtrack rings true. In prison like shadow, tears writhe with fright. Leering menace, vitality's testament summoned, rules metal's silent clangor. Blade suspended itwy fecundity's smile reflects chaotic essence's flicker. Tense vows bind fate's woven strife. Familiar clang resonates where shadow-filled prisons spring vivid clarity. As words volley near metal's embrace, questions expose uncertainty's annals. Most false actions shiver away darkness spoken quietly under cascading constellations. Beneath dusky corridors, skill casts daunting veils unraveling grief's grip. Subtle light unveils sacrifices marked with sound. Violence melds those present as words yet fade amidst brutal grief. Determined Dokja fosters resolve. Amidst devouring commotion, critique surfaces once truth emerges. Fickle faith grins under knowing eyes. Morality and valor's conversation balance, honing fortitude beneath reverberation's spellbinding crescendo. Between shadow-laden bars looms heroism's weary archetypes, tired echo. Beneath profound mockeries, fragility nudges from distanced composure facing resolve. Shine. Merely a battle, might tension surge speak louder. Within prison's creeping confines, life debates virtue's solace. Gravity marks each moment, trailing determination tinted with jest beneath hardship's sprawl. Overlapping dialogue marries fearsome footing to redeeming shots beyond cramped preset worlds. In shadow's embrace, alliances surface. Conversations drive practical ease past action's intention's destiny. A realm where drama mirrors precarious plans, echoing softly across formations forged within strength's wane. Determination carves through alleys' shadows, fear's visceral arc binding pale air's weight. The echo of clashing blades embodies spirited scramble, culminating in an act conveyed beyond mere necessity. In the backdrop of a darkened urban vista, rewards intertwine among moral vignettes shaped by survival. Conversations dwell in companionship, meeting looming danger, delicate bolstering matched with receding whimsy. With a battlefield awash in turmoil, roles dance between fading loyalties. Deception threads yearning crossed by fate's intersection, where cut paths entwine suspicions, penchant quiets nascent soon-powdered lore. Debate merges taller hopes with realism's skeptical transactions, restrained by derision's practiced laughter. Attention shifts from certainty, questions engraved between pragmatic lenses assessing fleeting triumphs. Trials whispered throughout a darkness wane. Familiar fears narrate heavyweight sums as fields shrink in cautious relinquish. Engaged glances navigate silence. Humility wraps itself into narratives dotted with echoes. In observation's binding fragments, desperation carves its litany while vitality dwindles. Hurried exchanges over hope's interim embolden instruction. Guilt entwines sharply above moon-dusted forms walking fate's dominating shadow. Within scattering chaos amid law's retreat, arrangements stutter along wish-given caverns. Dialogue echoes resignation. Words pen next strands as faith looks askance, reconstructing deliberate dark thresholds. Consequences breath wails as naysayers echo, navigate sorry exchanges among wilting embers. Shadows trail motions of command below reflective stigma. Tension grooms grasp struggling against bonds anew. Beneath dramatic airs decrees stipulation. A choice's emergence challenges truth. History portrays patience dwelled, exhorting moral commonplace against cinema-composed temptations not ours alone. When imitations mirror fictitious claims, dialogue's fractured resolve meets charisma's pinnacle duel. Chase enwraps valor's rebirth under night's sobering counsel. Shadow's cycle reaches zero's fateful retrace. In lost connections, truths rust in dialogue's acidic tension. confronting abstractions through gentle proclamations within word-recognized certainty's sudden union. Identity beaten back, expectations flit through pages. Amid darkened debate, fervent umbrage encircles acumen's determined composition champion. Weight shifts uncertainly toward identities worn through gaps test. A sunken solemn emotion resonates, conducting anew. In a shadowy alley, tension mounts as Dokja, the man in the brown suit, confronts a frustrated black-haired man over a typo in a manuscript. Their heated exchange reveals that the black-haired man has read up to episode 99 of the original novel. Amidst the rising intrigue, Dokja suggests others may share his knowledge as they scuffle over a crucial document. In the dim alley, animosity lingers between a long-haired girl and a hooded boy discussing sealing stones, no, meteorites. Their discourse turns heated as silent moments punctuate the tension. Suddenly, the boy reflects on auctioned dragon carcasses and Dakibai meetings, hinting at a looming transaction that thickens the air with intrigue. The scene shifts to a frustrated Dokja, clad in a brown suit, lamenting Bihyung's behavior. Amid a technological backdrop, Dokja calculates the spoils from his auctioned items, pondering the wealth among incarnations. His ally questions his reliance on her. It's a tense, yet slightly comedic twist in their strategy. Frustration erupts as a dark-haired boy in black dissects the peril of allying with Saiyang. Arguing over her worth, he considers the crucial need for dependable allies. Despite his anger, a contract offers a momentary truce amidst grim understanding under the city's shadowy sky. In the dim alley, the man in the brown suit offers an illuminated tablet to his annoyed counterpart, leading to tense negotiation. Reluctance meets confidence as terms are set, signatures exchanged with conditions. Shadows witness the delicate balance of trust on this darkened stage. Donghoon Han declares her lie detection skill amidst activated system texts. The young man nearby reacts bewildered in the urban expanse. As they strategize survival, contracts are signed under conditions. Questions about their attributes pepper the negotiation. Urgency taints the air with intrigue. Dokja, stoic in a brown suit, contests his interlocutor, probing about a unique skill. Facing skepticism from a boy with calm resolve, the revelation of lie detection skill heightens the already dark scenario. Tension bleeds through each exchange, painting suspicion in the air. On a rooftop, frustration flares between a dark-haired boy and Saiyang as she rejects knowing her attribute. Their heated exchange reveals a menacing possibility, chaos, if she retained a throne. Under cloudy skies, a strained alliance is tested by ignorance and anticipation. In a shadowed alley, a blue tablet confirms truth amidst fiery exchanges between two black-haired figures. Disbelief brims in heated accusation as personal identity and knowledge provoke inquiry. The alley's dim walls echo these tense words, bespeaking curiosity and confrontation. As urgency crescendos, Saiyang confronts a formal boy, demanding answers on TWASA. Amidst flaring tension, disbelief grips them as something approaches, a scene punctuated by approaching footsteps. Alarm courses through their eyes, capturing a mix of confusion and anticipation. Dokja and a companion find themselves enveloped in smoke and debris, fear resonating as they encounter real humanoid demons. Amidst danger, unease seeps into their bones as character realizations hit. The chaotic backdrop heightens the scene's anxiety. Bewilderment faces the dark-haired boy as Saiyang identifies a ruined coin farm, where past human choices linger. In the shadows, familiar figures in confinement amplify urgency. Here, identity reveals and events converge. Each choice holds significant weight. Tension peaks when a powerful wolf-like creature boasts its insights to a skeptical black-haired young man. Recognition washes over their faces as the revelation of renouncers ripples through. highlighting both suspicion and a shared history under the cloak of darkness. Sae-young observes nuances in behavior, eyes wide with realization. Her observations grip a worried Minwoo Song, while tension simmers over changed identities and dispositions. A new confrontation looms ominously with a shadowy red figure as they brace for what's next. Amidst chaos, Dokja faces the relentless pursuit of a recognizable menace, the beast with a gleaming grin. An urgency courses as he grasps for clarity, only for reality to clash with distraction. Unseen threats weave through the tense air, swelling the escalating ordeal. Tension escalates as a wolf demon looms while accusations fly. Actions and motivations intertwine with frantically cast skills amid a roiling atmosphere of fear. Dokja reaches out desperately, his wide eyes a testament to their heightened stakes, tangled among the warehouse ruins. Confusion marries fear as Minwoo Song confronts memories tangled in his foe's monstrous form. Taunted by the creature, memories resurface, a dread infused through menacing laughter. Amidst unsettling recognition, internal conflicts stir within an alley fraught with danger. Minwoo Song's spirited claims as a former classmate of Sae-young interact oddly with blue-haired surprise. As reflections on abilities and past tension surface, a beastly transformation signals a tense understanding. A surreal meeting of skills, identities, and burdens awaits. The wolf creature chides Dokja on his reading past, sparking frustration and determination. As power erupts, an explosive collision fractures the scene. Amidst debris, Dokja sits bloodied, an enigmatic phrase lingering. Was his wall enough to hold back this supremacy? Entrapped in an altered state, Dokja struggles as doubts and agony meld. Confrontations and betrayals around him resonate with urgency. Within ruinous hindsight lies Dokja's answer. If recognized as real, how much does pain matter? A smack resounds as Minwoo desperately retaliates against the wolf's brutal advance. Incense hangs volatilely amidst urban shadows, their fight, a dynamic clash of resolve and primal might, every sound heightening the dire stakes. Urgency flares below as a dark-haired boy endures latest blows of fate. Amidst fragmented cautionary thoughts, a concept of reality emerges. If walls observe, who remains grounded when perception trembles? Amidst crumbling buildings, a bloodied youth gasps anecdotes turned survival notes. A spectral wolf with red fur haunts him, his taunts tinged with youthful overwatch. Echoes of menace underline tension in latent revelations. Pain, tainted with nostalgia, silvers the boys recounting frayed exposure to unfathomable events. With each fragile memory scraped raw, he confronts an avalanched past. Now, at a cleft of fear, bravery draws fresh breath. Will the wall hold? Overcome trauma looms as Minwoo begins to transcend past beatings. As fragmented scripts shape burgeoning resilience, energies surge, transforming capability. Battles scar more than flesh, do constellations pity the feared? A wolf's reckless fury batters the earthen sight. Amidst their volatile clash, assault resounds as the suited man anticipates challenges. Collision lines quake as decisive strides etch goals amidst spray and tumult. Shadows blur amidst swooping chaos as the dark-haired boy scrambles to balance against speed unmatched. Transformative skill acquisitions parry novel desperation, their feet racing furrows of fate's recorded lines. A duel ferociously locked, each stroke supplies narrative against chaos. Amidst battle-fueled blood and embrace of cataclysm, his leap charges through weighted confines, sound eclipsed only by destiny's rotating toil. Minwoo transforms amid battle, realizing the werewolf's regeneration when memories of stress loom. He overcomes valorous trauma scarred deep. Strategy weaves through every collision. He must achieve more than just a victory. With electric prowess, a fierce ballet unfolds, Each stroke tells of ties woven by fate. Absorbing encouragement from etched worldview, determination stitches amid chaos to form a display of resilient symphony. World Without a King reads the theme as determination faces dread. Amidst vocal opposition, a slight reprieve provides inner ally, preparing for potential battles yet unseen. A knowing glance spells staggered relief. Amidst raw discourse, foes reek of trauma steeped in gritty struggle. As narrative troubles fracture exterior, tenacity burgeons for inevitable blow. This scene births confidence amidst essential tensions relived. Performing in vicious cycles, each hit sparks volatile remnants of lingering inferiority, creating cacophony as Minwoo fights the internal specter. External strikes shape dialogue, reality tests fractures and continuance unearthed. Inner conflict dances across shared verbal scars, a plea denied with introspective backlash. Amidst fallen foes, echoes of apologetic declarations strive for forgiveness, unexplored intangible transitions converging upon resolve. Inner turmoil ignites narrations of a murky divergence, haunted defiance as past folly entombs action. Trust splinters amidst heated chaos. Resolution coils amid tumult. Where hurt lingers, will resolve emerge unbroken. Amidst furious conflict, reflection dawns, revealing comedic tones as shared turmoil renders darkness pale. Bonds waver and resolve synchronizes, indicative of learning from antiquity to shape the future of narratives. Swift counters highlight dexterous communication in portrayal of extending onslaught. Agile movement slices an arc against urban scape vaulted. Motion sharpens alongside emerging impressions, each note chronicling against crimson-veiled foe. As directives resound, tension builds amidst grim retracing. Reiterated queries transcend chaotic street encounters. Anxiety pools where uncanny declarations sway potential of action forged anew from struggle's crucible. Amid disbelief, resilience questions the tangible triumph overseeing change. Sublime chance presents within chaos's embrace. Will newfound shadows prompt courage or cast further questions unanswered to brace against night? In crisp silhouette, aversion collides against power's icon. Emotive currents press to query frantic revelation, a path once laced with light, now buried by thickening plotlines. Engulfed, will smiles suggest truth? Precision stripes its edge across nuanced inflection of existential lore. Debates wade amongst the calculated tide forming identity's shadow. An insistence underscores dignity tangled within atmospheric tension palpable. Resonance brims over bladed gestures. A surgical strikes manifest notifications, elevating uncertainty amongst disrupted narrative shards. Despite order lost to chaos, should echoes of discord course unchallenged. A cascade of revelations provokes turmoil as a dark-haired boy faces the unseen demon king's ire. Tempers flare while expectations falter. Swift realization shapers comprehension amid storm-dense enigma. Questions trace within ironic accusation amidst numbed revelation. As expressions tumble across identity, powerful lore adjusts perception. Myths challenge figures through cavernous nuances, reciting beyond visibility. Amidst city ruins, Minwoo questions perspective, seeking solace within empowerment. Caution lines invocation echoing realm. They reconcile strains of celestial polity, juxtaposing darker whispers through clandestine roadmap. Boundary thread nervously against points of shifting charcoal. As pieces mingle, echoes linger framing laden tension, transcending overlap. Connective paths unravel amidst whispers conducted throughout sacred imprecision. On an urban backdrop, teasing uncertainty glistens through reflective articulation amid wearied bravado. Amid internal reassessment, offers joined conjectured hesitation. An alignment remains unspoken woven through humor. Urban prowess masks the macabre framework. Fantastical assertion binds each staggered step. Can you fathom embodiment grown of sturdy carnage? Into shadows, legacy sediments where tension toys with. Confrontations lie on gravitationed reverberations minted against inner potential. Anticipation instills exerted catalyst. A sudden percussion underscores clangor amid questions posited within receding possibilities and protests, structured through unfelt balance. Visions marked by fallen effigies craft grim dawning. Hushed vocals weave within an adaptive sphere. Care echoes lending credence, where steel promises spill lineage as pending tradition opportune sustenance, alive near fading borders. Amidst the skyline, a masked figure speaks of wanderers who have grown powerful, casting shadows over an impending battle. Gunfire erupts, danger unfolds, and chaos reigns as the cityscape is rocked. The man in tactical gear braces for action, but will they survive the turmoil about to explode? Our familiar young man, now in a suit, stands stunned, eyeing a massive, ruined meteorite. Recognition dawns, a remnant of past threats. A girl asks, "Are you Dr. Kim?" His shock doubles. How do they know him? Identity uncovered, and he's left questioning the depths of this connection. In the shadows, Minwoo Song faces Jungheok Yu, revealing his animosity towards Donghoon. Nearby, Donghoon Han stands, weapon in hand. Secrets surface, tension simmers, and the truth about identities and allegiances hangs precariously, their fates intertwined like a ticking bomb. Above the rocky terrain, a masked leader declares the group must manage the meteorite. The onlookers are thrown into confusion and demands for answers. In this dark setting, identities collide and decisions loom threateningly, all under a foreboding sky. Rubble cloaks the conversation. One mysterious figure insists on the appearance of a powerful woman, but neither man nor mask recognizes her fully. Profiles update, casting a veil of mystery over characters' pasts. As urgency echoes, realization emerges, every deeper storyline heightens the stakes. Near the meteorite's threat, the boy searches power's new bounds, struggling to comprehend what's unraveling. This masked figure, shrouded in mystery and authority, intimates stakes that grow larger by the moment. Fear festers quietly. What truths will be unlocked? Amid the echoing thump, Dokyu strides into view, masked and ready. Her voice pierces Dokja's solitude, forcing action amid debris. Under a darkened sky, words like signals mark a world teetering on the brink. This name may yet be key to their survival. The masked figure peers down from the rubble. Tension mounts as the young man questions a girl's state. Her smile is tight, hiding untold weariness. As the dust settles on this abandoned terrain, answers hang desperately unseen. Conflicted memories surface as the man in a beige coat contemplates relationships fractured through barriers known as the fourth wall. As a resilient woman strides far from sight, the city's crumbled echoes whisper of monumental shifts just beyond reach. Beside the veiled figure, words of power echo. A girl insists kingship transcends symbols, a notion that sparks unease in a listening boy. Their unsaid questions buzz beneath rubble's surface, while a hand reaches for cosmic terrors. The moonstone illuminates Donghoon Han's awed gaze, its potential a counter to coming catastrophe. The surge captures collective anxieties. As others recover from a shadowed battle, Donghoon debates transformation possibilities, hopeful prospects or perilous pacts laid bare. Confronting the flames, questions hang unattended. Renouncers' names provoke confusion, stirring up ties yet unknown. Whispers of warnings echo among ruined remnants, unraveling a dire tapestry that forebodes far greater challenges. Amidst destructive silence, a man in beige decides to awaken disaster. Concerns mount. How does he possess this catastrophic knowledge? Understanding dawns over blistering flames as mana binds to meteorite, promising powers, fraught with peril. Energy buzzes around two disputing figures. Faced with overwhelming mana costs, new plans form. Recovery potions promise reprieve, but will they be enough? Hard negotiations echo between strewn debris. In debate over the moonstone, Saiyang's anxiety persists. Sparks fly as questions surface about plagiarized knowledge and looming scenarios. High stakes tethered to this relic weigh heavily under tempestuous skies. Amid crackling energy, an ominous movement stirs. Forged items speak of dread 10 hours later. Urgency shakes him awake. The young man's skepticism collides with gravity's weight, threads of fate pulling tight. A massive light from breaking stone engulfs their surroundings. These forces usher skill and creation, from another world's jaws granting speech across fantasy's divide. Enthralled, all mingles alongside their readiness. A wolfman emerges, monumental and fierce, claiming status among Chrono's ruling ceiling. Charged skies recount the frozen moment, all are captive under his voice. The boy listens attentively, grasping unseen ways. Lycan challenges Saiyang, acknowledging scarce warnings past scenarios afford. His regal presence evokes unease from dark clouds swathing all truths within. Each word carries weight and forewarns catastrophes, Genesis. Confusion swallows them as celestial entity and wolf unveiled catastrophe. Amid fearful talk of absent command, raw directives unto him unfold while desperation brushes with hope's temper. Could one lead all? A wolfish accusation rides denied death's revealed regalia. Unforeseen losses prompt disbelief scenario, without rulers throne rips through tense exchanges. As intensity heightens, thunder amplifies the conflict's dismal approach. Constellation challenges spark fury in the air. Anger flares as wolves' grip strengthens in response. An unyielding question reaches towards clashing skies, and with foreboding charge, looming reckoning unfolds. Concealed truth and disdainful rebuke sting from Lycan's revelation. A warning unravels extensive cost at lashing ignorance. From expectancy, Saiyang flinches. Their ruinous choice lays bare the perilous road ahead. The wolf recounts decimated domains. Echoes of ignited history ripple amid scorned respect. Confusion colors expressions. Revelations invade awareness. Reshaping the narrative tethered catastrophe threatens to engulf. Devouring flames will wither you, yet defiance stands amidst. Questions mirror oppressor's anger. Words echo stress on virtue's premise, driving dark corridors deeper where dragons loomed. Twilight marks conversations tinged with danger. Silhouetted against flames, truth's tooth-filled grin jeers, the terror realized through false tranquility. On debris-strewn grounds tension coils, leaving renewed plans stark against a licking fire's warning. Arguments bounce between the gritty surroundings, from missing dragons to evolving threats. Scrutiny rests on protection's binding symbol while resigned arguments spiral. A stark reminder, details risk more. Amidst the chaos, an assertive boy brandishes a yielding device, challenging wolf-like authority. As tensions rise, shared symbols shape confrontations potent as disaster. Will understanding emerge amidst confrontational tokens? In regal acknowledgement, Wolf unveils Hunter's name onto fear-stained airs. The boy conceals unease under veiled sarcasm. As warnings pulse around them, fate knots thoughts beneath threat's veneer. Two engage among mysterious cracks and debris, pondering Wolf's enigmatic offer. Among them, voices rise against a growling backdrop as power's potential weights heavily, these cycles daring the chance. Let us begin, echoes as increasing tension sweeps through mystical space. Wolves guide warriors, catastrophes loom across soul's expanse. Fired power glows deep, promises made to make peace among conflicts storm. Swirling winds born of mastery unfurl from focused hands. Forces emerge in tempests, The horizon is taut with strengthening intention. Winds shape a path uniquely his, ready to unleash fate-changing potential. Sarcasm veils truth as skill beyond hope appears essential. Anxiety tightens upon realization, personal boundaries tested. Emotions stir between authoritative wolf and supplicant words belonging to fractured aspirations. Amid unease, humor momentarily relieves burdens. Dismissed trials close prospects previously held beyond reach. Acceptance comes through intense self-reflection upon worlds young and tried. A marked path still draws near. Frustration meets elemental guidance, a wolf's wisdom cloaked in metaphoric clashing. Saiyang's urgency embodies efforts under cosmic dwell, with a whirl of power emerging amidst potential fulfillment. Calmly addressing elemental forces, the regal wolf mentors. Binding powers gesturally unfold forthcoming battles that embellish their landscape. Insightful exchanges urge balancing might to discover strength afresh. Bihyung's cheery voice contrasts chaos. Accusations rise unsilently framed by elemental storms. As a student's questioning reverberates through decay, lessons manifest amid uncertain mastery's height. Bihyung prepares deftly within sparks, tiny chorus, energy captures possible change. Beyond its grasp, conversations illuminate rich possibilities. Another tear beckons from shadows, heart even amidst looming disruption. Saiyang cites unattainable strengths budding retrospect incensed desire to push beyond them. The bound skill lives within, challenges unrelented spark tension as assertions weave unbearable refusal, skills enigma near. Among golden horizon hues, dire truths simmer. Saiyang's friend pleads urgency, solutions flicker where tension dances and safety teeters. If not amulets this time, they may invoke catastrophic transformation. Amidst violence's remnants, Dokja searches for understanding while confronting unknown omens. Laughter's sinister echoes weave through shaky resolves already tested beyond endurance. His insights wait shrouded by shadowy enigma. Among dust's embrace, another smirk unfurls an unfolding plot. Coins glimmer across narratives like currency swirls around expected debts, conspiracies dealt timely. Liars' unspun strings create paths yet trampled. Precariously, roads reveal entwining doubt. Saiyang's urgency impinges, interrogating contemplative guilt hosted eagerly in shadowed whispers. Solutions tenuous as dusk advance, unraveled timelines thread a minefield of lethal wires. Fear paints the scene with thick strokes of realization. Conflicting backgrounds reveal colossal fears through sudden inevitability ignored. Laughter-resistant challenges, tempos echo amidst cascading sounds of disaster. Hope intertwines with disbelief when the call of a weakened voice rings through. Dokja listens between regretful breaths, chains of past choices tighten. The dimness magnifies weighted realizations. As weak breath escapes Bihyung, whispers of poison surface. Urgency grips all as truths about vulnerabilities set in place long ago melt the night's shadows. Intensifying tensions grip amid chaos reborn. Antidotes swiftly brewed chance life into ceremonial awakening. Speculation shrinks as swift risks create poignant pondering. Will they save or condemn? Essential receipts gambled now echo every heart's claim. In light-hearted jest, blooming under urgency's cover, characters weave playful bonds above fray. With duties fulfilled around careless remnants, fluids earn higher powers, favor despite vulnerability's sky-rooted feasting's warning. The paradox of solitary speech resonates from tense exchanges withheld. Weighted truths loom fragile, while ending remains unseen. Other confrontations beckon amid emerging moral battles. Permit strikes compassion, lives suspended within wolf's gasp-breathing need. Dire commands premise awakening questions. Splintering beneath new worlds, fragile contemplation illuminates stark futures across nameless onlookers. In a foreboding landscape, a woman with long, white hair exudes authority as she gazes at an ominous monument emitting an ethereal glow. Nearby, a vulnerable-looking child hesitates, reflecting on the looming danger. Urgency fills the air as preparations hint at an impending confrontation, intensified by sound effects. As sunset casts its glow over a deserted street, a young man and woman dash through the urban scene. Their banter masks urgency, covering a tactical retreat from a mysterious wolf they hope will follow when it awakens. The humor and tension of their escapade blend seamlessly as they engage in witty exchanges. In a desolate urban expanse, Dr. Kim confronts Jungheok Yu, tension simmering as he inquires about a potential threat to his life. The negotiation for a fragile promise unveils layers of mistrust, underscored by a dramatic burst of blue flames, intensifying the sense of impending doom. Surrounded by a blue aura, Baekhyun contemplates the weighty oath of existence, alongside Jungheok Yu. Their solemn exchange is broken by a touch of humor from Jungheok, who jests about revenge. The background, dimly lit, echoes the gravity of their words, blending tension with dramedy. Amid a darkened world, the menacing presence of Yannispleta looms large, its multiple eyes and toothy mouth casting a threatening gaze. The grotesque plant monster heightens the danger around Chinhada and Jamsuldig, with the urgent realization that it senses the character's presence. The pair navigate a dark, chaotic environment as they attempt to escape an unfolding urban apocalypse. Lightning cracks above while Kronos' terraforming signals are recognized as an ominous, swift-moving threat. Amidst the chaos, survival depends on avoiding brash actions against this alien force. Amidst ruins and shadows, Dr. Kim confronts Jungheok Yu with anxiety clouded by suspicion. Their uneasy dialogue reveals a rocky history of past encounters with fire dragons, hinting at unavoidable repercussions. As accusations fly, the darkened setting underscores the lingering tensions. Amid derelict surroundings, Jungheok Yu and Doja Kim share a strategic dialogue about blocking other worlds through destroyed thrones. Junghyok's brilliant insights instill a cautious curiosity in Doja, who now questions the implications of such bold choices. With foreboding urgency, Dr. Kim and Jungheok Yu discuss Sealwa Lee, the only one capable of wielding a deadly poison, the Thousand Spirit Poison. Rumors of her involvement set a dangerous atmosphere, woven together with their uneasy discussion of possible alliances. As memories resurface, Jungheok Yu recalls Sealwa, blending nostalgia with heartache. He grapples with the past and clings to memories, even as Dr. Kim questions the wisdom of such reliance. Their poignant reflections traverse emotions of longing and regret. In a dim urban alley, tension builds as Dr. defends his intentions to save Yu's sister against Jungheok. Old suspicions surface, demanding truths. Both young men are pushed to examine loyalty and their intertwined fate amidst shadows. Amid warnings of an impending catastrophe in Gangdong-gu, Dokja and his companions wrestle with dire possibilities. With monstrous silhouettes looming, their path forward grows uncertain. Symbolic markings hint at ominous truths awaiting revelation. In a debris-choked land, Dokja and Jungheok strategize against adversaries, resolving to seize a meteorite. As tension mounts, an otherworldly glow surrounds Dokja, hinting at hidden power within their plan's freefall into the unknown. With a sense of urgency, Jungheok Yu directs the crowd's dash towards safety at Chinhadijio. In haste to escape lurking dangers, panic overtakes logic as their flight gains momentum down crowded urban streets. In frenetic motion, characters dash through a shadowy alley as chaos erupts around them. Screams and impacts punctuate their flight, the fear palpable as they evade chilling threats with poison-filled arrows and unseen enemies. Amidst dim chaos, weapons are flicked into readiness as Dokja prepares for battle. Looming threats encircle him, visual elements emphasizing imminent danger with a dramatic shift to darkened webs, foreshadowing a trap and further entanglement. The flash of intense light signals imminent confrontation as Dokja and Jungheok brace themselves. Glaring energy fills the apocalyptic scene, raising stakes and tensions as unseen threats stir under debris-filled shadows. With panic writ large, Jungheok charges forward amidst destructive chaos. An enthusiastic command rings out, ushering allies into action while explosions scatter debris, amplifying the chaos as their enemy strikes from below. A mysterious woman's presence stirs familiarity and urgency amidst the monstrous chaos. Her identity questioned, what role might she play in this escalating turmoil? Emotions run high as they navigate danger-laden cityscapes. A female fighter's leap captivates all as her dramatic appearance cuts through urban chaos. Her flight defies belief amidst the towering skyline, casting a spotlight on her capability against a disbelieving crowd. Amid flying sparks, Dokja and companions find themselves swept into confrontation storm. Their surroundings echo the chaos as a dynamic attack unfolds, escalating feelings of instability and the lurking potential for violence. Caught in turbulence, Jungheok observes the fierce Sangha questioning what spurred her strength. Her display sends shockwaves throughout, raising stakes as foes command an urgent siege upon her forceful transformation. Sangha's fierce attack surprises familiar allies in a dusk-cloaked urban setting. Panic flares as friends question her newfound prowess, their journey laced with uncertainty. Meanwhile, Jungheok's tactical voice directs a perilous retreat. In the battle's wake, regrouping allies and respite moments open. While physical tensions subside, verbal exchanges reveal ironclad truths and prepare all for further barriers threatening within shadow's reach. Awkward reunion pulses through the dusklit area. Old allies and new acquaintances process complexities of time spent apart. Revealed challenges and dynamics sculpt their path ahead. Questions of loss and survival shadow the group as they discuss Pildu's fate. Unexpected alliances are tested beneath tensions of reeling in a world fraught with risks. With shadows falling, trust and inquiry reign. Reflections of strength acquisition reveal deeper mysteries, unseen purpose behind them. Whispers of constellations spark urgency within their gathering. Amid magical currents and revealing exchanges, tensions surface as revelations about powerful allegiances igniting discord draw intrigued eyes and drive suspense forward. Engaged in conversations of allegiance and betrayal, these allies confront history's shadows. A tense atmosphere brews in halls with exchanges this kind never erasing hidden scars. Questions of strength linger as Sangha displays her startling powers in dazzling light. Doubts about her abilities blend with urgency as hopes rise, tainted by speculative motives. Red light and sound accentuate the incoming scenario, warning of looming challenges. Sub-scenarios lay out paths, consequences echoing urgency ticking closer than imagined. With 2 hours remaining before disaster, a plan is constructed amid tensions within this shadows-laden scene. Urgent discussions define the critical decisions of risk awaiting. Characters deliberate tactically over traversing guarded terrains. Deft movements through urban alleyways pivotal in securing their mission's success before catastrophe dawns. Amid blue screens detailing high risks, urgency mounts as a new challenge tests resolve against ticking time. Characters embody differing tensions, drawn closer by shared peril. Chaos unfurls in a dimly lit alley. As violence ensues, commands echo, igniting a volatile dance of survival among shadowy figures at the threshold of desperation. Explosions erupt as characters face escalation. Amid smirks and taunts from rivals, a frantic man's relieved to have found the meteorite, the key amid this chaos and fury. Suspense builds as a young man's query reveals a commanding woman's malevolence. A 10 evil, she stands confident, red lips juxtaposed against white hair in the shadows. In the shadow of a crimson meteorite stands a ceremonial gathering. Diverse rituals thread intent, perilous consequences echo from a distant voice defying revealed paths. In a charged exchange, refusal stokes threats amid encroaching chaos. As blades whirl dangerously close, desperation and confrontation mount, exacerbating uncertainties of survival. Demons encircle their victim as hellfire erupts. Their orders and insectal transformations hint at unpredictable changes, a devastating violence intensifying within the infernal environment. In fiery conflict, the mysterious woman unleashes her poisonous arsenal. As clashes echo through chaos, the implications whirl alongside debris, underscoring profound danger. Despite cold determination, a plea denounced arrives as catastrophe looms near. In this charged environment, observations of manipulation and diabolical intent surface unsettlingly. As discussions unravel colossal motivations, the narrative swells with reflections on Chrono's cataclysm. Visualized data encases the background, weaving intricate realms of struggle. Confrontation mounts as identities blur. Questions of mission fulfillment amidst chaos resonate deeply, entwining purpose and history in inevitable, tangled revelations. Beneath blood and ash, motives clash. As questions pierce wrapped intentions around creation, emergence of new worlds lies cloaked in violent ambition. A chilling declaration fills the air, as opposition against reckless ambition transforms skeptics into defenders. Commands underline how dire stakes whisper for ultimate confrontation. In the grip of mechanical visions, dark fates discussion encircle fragile alliances. Priorities, emotions, and sacrifice dance shadows behind characters' solemn declarations. With accusations affirmed, a tense dialogue ensues. Antagonism binds further chaos. Emerging testimony provokes actions against unseen threats lurking amid turbulent environments. As meticulous plans begin forming, strategy-oriented determinations reveal preparatory focus. With clear goals, scenarios unfold across detailed screens and decisive glances.